3 of It's All Geek to Me, the pop culture chat show where 3 friends with varying degrees of nerd knowledge get together on a weekly basis to have a chat about all things geek. Joining me this week, we have our usual co-host, Iddy. He is an impressionist, he is a comedian, and he's the most curly-haired person I've ever known in my life. Please welcome Mr. Chris Lum. Oh, happy Christmas, Lummy. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm all right. Happy Christmas to you, good sir.
May the force be with you, my friend.
And with you also.
We should point out that we are a geek down this week. Our good friend Nathan, our best friend, cannot be with us. He might be able to join us towards the end of the show, but certainly he isn't here with us at this moment. So,
do you know why he's not here? He got so much Lego, it all fell on him.
Yeah, he's built a fortress and he can't escape out of it.
Yeah.
It's gone into a Lego hole. Yeah. So what we decided to do this week is we know that there are lots of people whose Christmas plans have had to change this year, and they might be sat at home all by themselves looking for a couple of mates to hang out with. So we're inviting you to be the third geek this week. Come along and share your Christmas stories. Tell us what you got for Christmas. Tell us what you didn't get for Christmas, but you really, really, really wanted. So Chris is going to share the link on the screen in a moment.
I'm going to sort that. We've got a comment already off of Twitch there.
Hello, Pop Not Broth. Nice to see you again. Welcome back, my friend. How are you? How's the world of Twitch? Unfortunately, no, tell us. I want to know about it. The other thing, you taught Nathan some new words last week. You taught him peng, and I think that quite disturbed him. So come at us with some more youthful lingo. God, I sound so old.
Are we going to? Is this link's going up to the actual room tonight? Isn't it? This is a new thing we're trying.
Yeah, we are going to vet people first. So no coming on with your cock out or anything like that. You have to be a real person. And if you want to join us, you are more than welcome to come along. Join the fun.
That's the link right there. Copy that in your browser and in you come. This could easily backfire on a Boxing Day for us.
Yeah, this seemed like a really good idea this morning, but now, my bum hole is going sort of 50p, 20p. So, Chris, what did you get for Christmas this year?
Well, geek-wise, I only got a few things this year, which is a bit strange because one year I got about 20 Star Wars mugs. So I think everybody realised when I put a picture up on Facebook of the 20 mugs not to get me anymore. But I did get Star Wars-wise. I got I Am C-3PO, Anthony Daniels' book.
Nice.
So I've already read a bit where he hates Kenny Baker and vice versa. I mean,
brilliant.
Spoilers. They didn't get on. And then I got my brother got me a bit of Star Wars beer there.
Ooh.
So
how strong is that?
It's 2 parsecs. It's 4.8%.
Nice.
I'm going to open this in a minute, and I'm just having my cup of tea.
Nice.
Maybe a mug. And then the last thing, I got a bit of a trivia game there, so I might crack that open. Movie and music memories.
That sounds fun. I've got a bit. I've got some wonderful, wonderful Christmas presents this year. For the first time, me and my girlfriend spent our first Christmas together. Despite the oven breaking on Christmas Eve, which nearly ruined Christmas, but we managed to get over that and resolve it and have a workaround. I woke up to some fantastic Christmas presents this year, and I was really chuffed. I got Korg. There you are.
Nice. Okay,
Funko of Korg. I got a Harry Potter bathrobe. Dressing gown, so it's like the Gryffindor robes. It's really impractical, actually. It's really warm and lovely and soft, but it's dead impractical as a dressing gown because the sleeves are like this big, the proper wizard sleeves. You keep knocking shit over when you're walking around, but it's great. It's lovely, and it's yeah. And I got Ready Player 2. The book, which I am really looking forward to, obviously the sequel to Ready Player 1.5. And I also got, now, help me out here, friends, because my girlfriend bought me a Stranger Things mug. She knows I like Stranger Things, but a different mug turned up and she didn't realize because it came packaged in this box here and she didn't open it up to check. And the mug that came, it was supposed to say just Stranger Things on it. But this came instead. I don't know if you can see that. So it's the Stranger Things mug, but it's got 11's name on it. Now, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, do you want me to send it back and get the one with just Stranger Things on it?" And I was like, no. So I was like, am I just being polite because this is our first Christmas together? Because how do I feel about being a 42-year-old man and having a tween girl's name on his mug? So, folks, what do you reckon? Should we send it back and get the original one that just says Stranger Things? Or do you think it's okay? Do you think it's appropriate for a 42-year-old man to have a little girl's name on his mug? What do you reckon, Chris?
I think you're reading way too much into it. I think you're
really?
Yeah, I think you're speaking like a condemned man. I don't know. It's like, I mean, it only sounds like an issue to you, to be honest.
I do feel quite anxious about it, but you know, it's
and also, how many people are going to see the mug unless you're like drinking it on here and you've just showed everybody?
That's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. Let us know what you think, friends, in the chat. Let us know. Or come online and join us. And
we've got 11 is cool.
11 is cool. So, Pop Not Broth, do you think I should keep the mug or send it back and get the original Stranger Things one? The one that was actually ordered.
They've also said they're watching Wonder Woman 1984, so we've got some big shoes.
Wow! Holy cow! Wow! I thought my bumhole was going 50p, 20p earlier. Now it's doing bigger. Keep it.
Thank
you very much. All right, that's one for keeping it. I'm going to chalk that down. Thank you very much, Pop Not Broth. And it's nice to have you along again. Did you get anything else for Christmas this year, Chris?
Vouchers, really.
What are you going to spend them on?
On the places where they've got to be spent. Amazon. It's on Amazon, innit? Everybody does Amazon vouchers.
Have you got anything planned? Like anything you want to buy?
I've got a few. I like my making of books, making of movie books. So I've got a few of them penciled in. Some Ghostbusters. Well, I think they brought out a Ghostbusters one recently. That I won't mind. Right. And then some of the old. I'll tell you what I do like. I like poster art from the old films. So a couple of Hammer horror ones that I might
nice.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
So,
that sounds good. What has been your favorite Christmas to date, Chris? Like, how does this year compare? Because it's been a rubbish year. So, I mean, were your plans affected too much? Did you? I mean, obviously, you live with loved ones, so I suppose you.
It was quiet. It was quiet, but I mean, we usually drive around and see everybody. So in that respect, it saved a lot of car journeys. So, so it's not been too bad. But yeah, it is what it is, and you've just got to get going with it, and work through it. But I mean, my favorite Christmases have always been when I was a kid. So the year I got my Millennium Falcon, which we talked about in our favorite Christmas toys, that can't beat it. Can't beat it.
Yeah. The Millennium Falcon that you renovated and made better. Yeah, that was brilliant. I think you should send the blueprints of that to who's making them these days.
Mattel.
It is Mattel. Okay,
I think so. I don't know if they've still got the
license. Get some royalties or anything like that.
We've got a message here from somebody.
Where is that? Where is that fit guy? Webby, we miss you, man. Come back and join us.
Is he coming in or what? Is he pissing about? Is he coming in? Come on, Nate.
We might find a replacement for you tonight, dude. So, I mean, it's a big throw of the dice. My favorite Christmas, actually, we were talking about this before we came on air. I found Star Wars for the very first time on Christmas Day in 1986. My family were downstairs in the living room. They had friends over. I wanted to watch TV, and my parents had a TV in their bedroom, one of those big, little sort of black and white box TV things. And I went upstairs and I was flicking around and I found this spaceship program film, and it was like 20 minutes in and it was Star Wars, and it was awesome. It had me fixed right from that minute. But then I was saying that I actually didn't see Empire or Jedi until I would say maybe 9 years later, even though I had all the toys and things like that. It's about 9 years before I actually saw them. In fact, it was after the reboots, the remakes came out, the digitalized ones. Go on, what other comments have we got on there?
We've got Pop Not Broth wanting to come in and join us.
Yes,
we do this?
On. Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know. We won't give a massive intro because we don't know anything about Pop Not Broth until they come in. So here we go. Let's do this. Hello.
Hello, Pop Not Broth. How the heck are you today?
Hello. I need to. Oh my goodness! I need to pause. Mute this one.
Right.
And then because I got you on the PC too. So.
Oh, fantastic! Merry Christmas to you. How are you this year?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I've done a gig with Chris, so it was very.
I've just realised I didn't know it was your username, did I? So welcome. It's the first time we've ever done this, so we're like, is this going to work? We don't know. So, but inviting people into the room, yeah, that's great. So
either very early this year or last year. It was certainly pre-lockdown, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. It was.
In Horsforth, was it? I can't remember. It's way out.
God. Yeah, I think it was. It was a pub, wasn't it? I can't remember. Old King's Arms.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this an improv gig or a stand-up gig?
It was a bit of both, wasn't it? You did your stand-up.
I did my stand-up.
And then we did. I was MCing.
Nice. I've seen a lot of your MC work on your YouTube channel on Channel Lum. I see what you did there, Chris. Channel Lum. I like that. It's good.
I don't know how I think of these names, for channels. It's amazing. It's amazing.
And you've been watching us over on Twitch, Pop Not Broth. You came and joined us last week.
I did, yes. Because I saw it on the thing. I thought, I'm not sure which. I've got 2 sets of headphones, and
I like it. No, this is nice. It's like a fashion show. I like it.
I'm aware that the microphone on my webcam is absolute crap.
Don't worry. I like this change of headphones. It's like a little fashion show. You work it, Pop Not Broth. Fantastic.
Yes, I was going to share the link. I left it too late because it was when Chris was going through the big kind of synopsis breakdown of what was it you were doing? I can't remember now. That's embarrassing.
Oh, it was holiday special, wasn't it? Star Wars
holiday special. Good. It was working well, and I was going to share the link, and I left it too late. And I thought maybe if I share the link, they'll invite me on. Okay.
Oh, well, there you go. Look at that. You're cunning. I like that.
You're on.
I like that. It's very Machiavellian. It's really good. I like it. So, did you get anything for Christmas this year, Pop Not Broth?
I didn't get much, to be honest. I mean, I don't have much of a family, so I went to see just me and a friend, and I managed to ride I bought a bike a month ago, and I managed to ride that out to Dewsbury, which from Leeds to Dewsbury is quite a trek.
That's a heck of a distance, all the way up Dewsbury Road.
All the way up there, and there's one steep bit.
There is.
And there was a moment where, at the top of that, just getting toward the Tingley roundabout.
I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, I'll just hop up onto this curb, but my body was like, no, I'm not doing it. It was concertina down onto the floor. And
mate.
You all right, love? No, I'm fine. Merry Christmas. I'm a bastard. All right.
Oh, mate. Well, you and baby Jesus both bastards, so it's fine. It's very topical. It's all good. It's all good.
The thing is, as I was coming up to that, I thought, well, there's where you got those flat bits of curb. There's that there. And I thought, no, I'll just hop up onto this. But my body just wasn't doing it because
it's funny, isn't it, when you get to that age and you go to try and do something that you can do quite regularly, but you haven't done it for maybe. Well, you think it's been a few weeks, but it's actually been a couple of years, and suddenly you feel like your body's just betrayed you.
Well, absolutely. And it was like, I was looking at buying this bike for 3 months, and I haven't ridden a bike since I was like in my 20s. So I was like, I crashed into the back of a bus once that emergency stopped at a bus stop.
I was thinking about this actually the other day because I got an awesome bike one Christmas, a red BMX, and it was a surprise. My mum and dad had bought it somehow without me noticing on a trip to a market, and it came out on Christmas Day, and I was like, "This is amazing!" And I was like, we lived in a cul-de-sac, and I was cycling around, and we had this really steep but short driveway, and the bike only had front brakes because it was a little kid's bike, and so I slammed the brakes on and went head over heels into a coal bunker. So yeah, I was scared to ride it for about a year afterwards. But it was a lovely bike.
Only has front brakes. That's a record.
Yeah. Well, I lived in Holland for a little while. I was doing a show out there, and I wanted to get a bike to cycle around because cycling in Holland is much safer than cycling in Leeds or London. And so I went to the market, got a bike, and the bike has the only way you can brake on this bike. It's backward pedaling. So you pedal backwards, and that's what puts the brakes on. So I'm cycling along on my first day to rehearsals, and on the bike path, and this tourist just walks out right in front of me. And I try and slam on the brakes because that's your natural instinct, but there's nothing there. So I just scream at this woman, swerve out the way, and plow into a family of Spanish people coming out of the subway station. I'm tangled around these kids with this bike. They're screaming. I'm apologizing in like this mock Spanish. And the whole cast of the show that I'm about to work with for the next 6 months are all stood there at stage door watching this stupid English bastard demolish an entire Spanish family. I mean, it was pretty embarrassing, Pop Not Broth.
But doesn't that bring it back to Stranger Things? Because I've only seen series 1, but wasn't there a pedaling brake system there where there was that van and it?
Oh yes, yeah, you're absolutely. That's a very good memory, actually. Yeah. I was going to say, what kind of geeky stuff are you into then? If you've only seen first series of Stranger Things, what stuff do you? Because obviously you've come on Twitch, haven't you? There, so do you stream games or what do you do?
On Twitch, I stream. The people I've got subscribed to a lot of kind of sort of like leftist politics.
Right.
Cool.
Not left.
I don't get on Twitch much, but when I came on last week, I was on Facebook at first as Pixels Green, and then I thought,
yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm not a boomer. I'm going to get on Twitch. So I was kind of on both.
That's why I keep wanting to say Pixels Green, but then I think I've got to go by your Twitch handle because you've come on Twitch. I can't just go throwing usernames about left, right, and centre.
We had this with Dan Morton the other week as well. Somebody I know, but I didn't realise it was him because of his Twitch handle.
I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. I was like, hang on a minute. Yeah.
Oh, no, this is nice. I'm really glad it is you, Pixel Pop Not Broth. I'm really glad it is you. It's nice. It's very, very nice to meet you. So what drew you into the first show? Is it because you know Chris?
It's because I know Chris, and it came up on my Facebook, and I think it was last Sunday, wasn't it? Well,
yeah.
Not much is going on. I'll check in. I'll support a young fledgling Twitch channel, and it was very entertaining. So
thank you.
I thought you were going to say a young comedian. Then I was just about to laugh at Chris, but you're referring to the channel. Yes, we are young and trying to amass followers. So, ladies and gents, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. We do have our YouTube channel. It is It's All Geek to Me. Go over there. We've got some previous videos as well. So what geeky things are you into, Pop Not Broth? Why didn't you go into season 2 of Stranger Things, for example?
Because the main thing for that is I have a difficult time with, let's see if we can get better lighting. I have a difficult time watching things on, because I spend most of my time playing like games.
Yeah.
So, and it's like kind of indie games and things like that. It's nothing really, it's like big releases, but it's, when I was playing World of Warcraft, that's good because you can watch something while you're doing that, because World of Warcraft only ever demands 35% of your attention.
Right, gotcha.
Times. So, I mean, I start watching things like started watching the Glow, the female wrestling one.
I love Glow. It's a brilliant show, yeah.
Never carried on. So I've got a list of things a mile wide to watch because I never get round to them because I waste too much time on YouTube watching these leftist streamers.
Yeah.
Biden.
I think, unfortunately, Glow is one of those shows that has fallen victim to COVID-19 and won't be coming back, which is a real shame because I love that show. Brilliant. I mean, I used to love. I mean, I'm a sort of a lifelong wrestling fan. I loved it as a kid. I had a break when I got interested in girls because girl's going to go out with anybody who likes wrestling. And then I was doing a show with somebody in 2016 who is a wrestler, and a guy called James Onsworth, who's going to be joining us on the show on a future episode. Actually, he's an actor and a stage fighter as well. He told me that the WWE channel had like a month free subscription. I should just give it a go. And that was it. I got hooked back into it again. So, and I've got this sort of love-hate thing with it. I sort of fall in and out with it. But when I saw Glow, it was wonderful. Just a really lovely take. And lots of old sort of school wrestlers in that show as well. It's brilliant. And Mark Maron, who I'm not a massive fan of, he's brilliant in it.
Are you not? Because, I mean, he's got 3 stand-up shows on Netflix.
Yeah.
Brilliant. The most recent one is just fantastic. I love it because I started listening to his podcast. I actually found a YouTube video of him talking Stuart Lee because I'm that kind of Stuart Lee fan, and I was like, oh, I'm going to listen to his podcast. And I don't listen to it as much now, but his stand-up shows are really good. He's one of the better American comedians. Him, Hannibal Buress, and possibly Sarah Silverman, which hasn't done anything for a while. So.
Yeah, that's
got a comment here. Shame about Glow, right? Yeah. There you go, M.
But I've got my number 1 geek thing right here.
All right.
This is, and I found this on eBay for like £15, which is the cheapest I found it, which is Power Girl Power Trip.
Look at that. Is that a book?
It's drawn by Amanda Connor. And it's just fantastic. This is my Bible.
Oh, wow.
I this in my lowest moments, and it keeps me happy.
Nice.
Oh, and it's great that you came to join us today, Pop Not Broth. And it'd be great, ladies and gents, anyone else that's watching, if you fancy come in and join us and being our third guest, you're more than welcome to. It's nice to see some of the faces that have been commenting over previous weeks. So is that your prized geek possession there, Pop Not Broth?
It is, and I think I've got a few things in here because I've got 2 pop figures.
Yeah, what the Funko ones?
I have a go at you personally, but I think once you have more than 2, it's too many.
So the thing is,
I agree. I concur.
Yeah,
I've got Piper and Alex from Orange Is the New Black.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And after that, nothing.
Well,
I'm glad to say I don't have any that haven't been gifted to me. I've got one R2D2 that Natalie Smeaton gave me. That's it.
Yeah, all of these were gifted to me by Nathan, actually. Our Missing Geek this week. Yeah, it is a bit of a tradition that we send each other a Funko Pop. I didn't send him one this year because his 3-year-old son has discovered his Funko Pops and... yeah, I mean, they are, the heads aren't sort of wobbling as much as sort of just drooping now. But that's all right, I mean, he's getting into his comic books. It'd be great to have Robin on as a future guest as well, because that kid has such a fantastic geek knowledge. I was at Nathan's once, and he's got this poster of all these superheroes, all these Marvel characters, and Robin was just able to point out every single one. The kid's 3 years old, man. He's a nerd genius, absolute nerd genius. So, how did you first get into geeky shit, Pop Not Broth?
Well, I don't know, it's kind of because I was born in 1975, but I never really got into Star Wars. But I just kind of, when you're that kind of loner child, you just kind of fall into it, don't you? And
yeah, I understand that.
Well, me and my sister, when we were really tiny kids, Superman 1 and 2, just watched them constantly. My older sister, don't know how you can watch a film more than once. Once you've seen it. Oh, shut up. And then Superman was amazing. And then after that, it's just kind of been so I pick and choosing little bits of it. And
yeah.
I will support more than the male ones. I'll say that.
That's absolutely fine.
Woman.
You are watching the Wonder Woman. Do you know what I loved? The last Wonder Woman film was absolutely brilliant.
Oh, brilliant!
It. It's absolutely, and I'm not a big fan of a lot of DC comic books. You were saying about Superman. When I was a kid, I loved Superman. It was amazing, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit that I grew up in a hotel. My mum and dad sort of ran a hotel in Leeds, so we lived and worked in the hotel. And one of the guests told me when I was about 12 or 13, it was an anniversary of Superman, and there was a big show on TV, and and Superman flew in to the show, and I was just like, how did they do that? And this guest convinced me that Superman was actually real, and it was one of those things that I kind of. It was like, when you're sort of working out that Santa doesn't exist. It was sort of like that. I really wanted to believe him. I really wanted to believe that Superman still existed. But then a few years later, I sort of got off Superman a little bit. It's sort of, it doesn't interest me as much.
Reeve is the quintessential Superman.
Yeah, I agree with you. He was brilliant.
I mean, that first film, it takes some beating to me. I mean, I watched when the new ones came out and I thought, all right, let's give it a go. And you had Superman Returns, didn't you, and all that. And I thought that was okay, but I think the ending of Superman Returns just went so stupid that it was just like, what is Lex Luthor's after land again? It's always Lex Luthor. It's like, put some different villains in it. And then obviously,
isn't it? Because they always go back to the Daleks, and it's like,
the
Daleks. Just
think of something else. Yeah, it's weird. It's but Christopher Reeve, the first one especially, brilliant. You can still watch it. It's still a great comic book movie. It really is. And I'm not a big DC fan either, like Rich was saying. But the DC film that I thought was great was the Wonder Woman, the first one. So I'm looking forward to seeing the next one. So that'd be good. Whereas the Batman one, I didn't mind the Dark Knight and all that, but I think that last one where they did Batman versus Superman, I was just like, I don't know about this. So,
and I think I wasn't too bothered about sort of reviews of films when I was young, but apparently Superman 3 got absolutely slated, and it is fucking brilliant.
Did it really?
Pryor in it. They've got It's an amazing film, and I've never seen Superman 4.
Oh, don't. Whatever you do, stop right there. Don't watch Superman 4. They were made by Canon Pictures, which was notorious for cutting corners with filmmaking. And there's a brilliant documentary, and I can't remember the name of it now, but it's about Canon Films. I don't know if it's called Electric something, about the Canon film industry, but it's brilliant if you get a chance to find it and watch it, because it tells you how they cut corners on all the filmmaking. And Superman 4, they wanted to make Superman 4 and 5 at the same time. So they shot enough footage to chop it into 2 films. It just didn't work out. It was basically terrible. Unbelievable, how cheap it was. And it was filmed in Milton Keynes.
Oh, God.
Really?
Yeah. So Milton Keynes was meant to be Metropolis, and it's just garbage. Yeah.
Okay,
anyway.
Give us your
Milton Keynes, and because I play mostly video games, I've been playing City Skylines, and you get really interested in road layouts and everything like that. Milton Keynes is really nicely laid out. You look at it on Google Maps; it's lovely.
Yeah,
all roundabouts. It's all roundabouts.
It's a city of roundabouts. So I worked at there's a school that I used to do a lot of workshops at in Milton Keynes, and I'd commented to this sort of class of sort of 13-year-olds how many roundabouts there were on the way to the school. And one of the kids went, just quick as a flash, he went, yeah, my dad says it's when they were planning the town, they're all drinking the coffee and putting the cups down on the map. And wherever they put the cups down, they just built a roundabout where the rings were. So that's brilliant. That kid's a genius. I love it. So
that's the Skylines gameplay right there. Put a roundabout in.
What other computer games are you playing, Pop Not Broth?
Well, at the moment, I'm really spending a lot of time with Noita, which is a roguelike game, which is it's like procedurally generated every time, and you're this witch that goes into some caves, and you've got various wands, and it's difficult to explain. You've got to really look at it, but it's just that random element of it is just that you die in the most horrific circumstances every time. It's the hardest game ever. But it's just so much fun, and you just keep going, and I'll do it again. Okay, fair enough. Slap me. It's the game equivalent of someone holding your wrist and saying, "Why are you hitting yourself?"
Yeah, nice. So you're a PC gamer?
Yes.
Yes, I see.
I can't do controllers. I've never really had that basis in learning.
Okay.
It's difficult. Mouse and keyboard.
I've never. So right. It's where I'm going to show how naive I am now, because I am a console gamer, but I did used to play, obviously, back in the 80s and early 90s. I had a Spectrum Plus 2. That was the one with the cassette tape. And the amusing sort of facsimile style noises, and I used to play my friend's Amiga and Commodore 64 and stuff, and it was all the keys. It was spacebar, and it was M and N, and was it L and X or something like that? Like what keys are you using on the keyboard when you're playing? I know you're using a mouse.
C games, you've got these sort of like the WASD, which is and then you've got the other hand on the mouse. So you've got them ones there.
Right, okay.
But with the old Spectrum, you had the kind of the cursor keys that were all in a line. So you had the up and down, and left and right.
That's right, yeah.
And it was only when the Spectrum Plus 2 came out. That was when Alan Sugar bought out Sinclair, wasn't it?
That's right, yes. That's absolutely right. In fact,
Amstrad CPC, so it was like, you've come to our side.
I remember my mum and dad. It was an awesome Christmas present, actually. We got that Spectrum Plus 2, and it was the showroom model, so it was the display model. So to compensate for it being the display model, they gave me 101 free games, but they were all on like 7 cassettes. So you had like over 10 games on each cassette. And obviously, those of you who have never played a computer game from a tape cassette before, it means you'd have to sort of fast forward and try and find the gap between those two games, because there was no way of being able to work it out. It was a nightmare. But we had the Ghostbusters game on there. I used to love that. That was brilliant.
There were some great games. Well, like you say, you had to find them on the cassette, didn't you? When they put them on, you had to go through and do it. But you could easily copy games if you had a cassette deck.
Oh God, that was so easy. Yeah, you used to borrow your mate's games. Yeah, and just tape it. Brilliant. Yeah.
We don't endorse copying games, though.
No, I don't suppose it's that easy these days, is it?
Just download them.
To be honest, no. And it's one of them things where it's like with Spotify that they made buying the games legitimately easier than pirating them. And I think most people will generally, if it's a convenience thing, if they can buy it for real money easy, they'll do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you could pay like £9.99 a month for Spotify. You'll just have the music and you won't need Napster. Or you won't need Metallica.
Does anybody know the most expensive game they've ever bought? Because I know off the top of my head. I could tell you straight away. Mine was for the Super Nintendo, and it was Super Return of the Jedi, and I spent 60 quid on it.
Holy shit.
When it first came out. 60 quid.
So that would have been a cartridge, wouldn't it?
Cartridge, yeah.
Though, is it?
It's what, sorry?
Because for the last few years, 60 quid has been the game price.
Yeah, but I never spend like full price on a game. I just refused to. So that for me was like 60 quid on a, because I'm a tight bastard. I mean, I'm a Yorkshireman.
But I'm the same, because I want this sort of the big sort of commercial AAA games. When they're in the Steam sale, $14.99, I'll buy them. Game of the year, get all the DLC. I'm not paying full price for a game. What am I out?
No.
The indie games at like $7.99, and they're brilliant. Terraria.
Yeah. My little gaming group on the PS4. There's 4 of us. It's Nathan and a couple of others, and they're all really bang into Red Dead. That's just come out online on the PlayStation for like £5, I think. But it's like a massive, like something ridiculous. Like it's like a massive 100 gig to download. And they're all trying to get me to get it. The thing is, I didn't finish Red Dead 1 just because I just found it really slow compared to GTA when you're in the cars. I know it's probably a very different game to the sort of games that you're playing, Pop Not Broth.
Well, no, and I've not played Red Dead Redemption either. I have played GTA 5. Can't be bothered with the online because you're driving along and suddenly you get rocketed out of the sky by somebody and you think, fuck this, but...
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's easier just to set up a private map. That's what we do, just because, otherwise you just get professional sort of...
I went on GTA Online once and somebody just beat me in a race because they had a the best car ever or something. When it's like that though, people have been playing it for months, and if you're a newbie and you go on, you just you can't do it.
No,
I had one go on Fortnite as well, and I just got my ass kicked, and I went nope.
Yeah, there was a guy on my first mission on GTA Online when I first tried it. I was partnered up with some other newbie, and they punched me to death on the way to the mission that we were trying to do. And I was like, oh, great. This is a perfect introduction to this game. And I just put it away. I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. I don't like getting beaten up all the time. Go on.
Well, I was just going to say we've got a message here. Roberto usually watches our...
Roberto. Merry Christmas, Roberto. Did you have a nice one? What did you get for Christmas this year? Get anything nice from Italy from your family?
Saying about Chris Pratt. Oh dear.
Is that Chris Pratt kills animals for fun? Is that what that just said?
It was in the news in here a bit because he likes killing animals, but yeah.
Yeah, him and James Hetfield from Metallica, I guess.
He's a deeply problematic man. I've got the impression that's what I.
Yeah.
Wasn't he going to this big church and it was like, oh, I love this church, but they were deeply homophobic. It's like, no, but yeah, I don't like that bit, but I like the church. It's like, shut up, Chris Pratt.
No, absolutely. Yeah, be more like Paul Rudd. Everyone should be more like Paul Rudd. Roberto.
Oh, Roberto. Lump of coal for Christmas.
What did you do wrong in 2020 to deserve a lump of coal? Probably. Ladies and gents, don't forget you can be also our third guest this week. You can take the place of our friend Nathan, who isn't here this week, our third geek. So if you want to come and join us, please, the link is down below. And exactly like Pop Not Broth, you can come along, have a chat about your Christmases, talk about your favourite presents, your favourite films, what got you into geekdom, your favourite computer games, pretty much anything you want, really, within reason. So how, without any spoilers, how's Wonder Woman 1984 coming along at the minute?
Well, I am. Let's see. So I'm an hour and 15. I would say 2.5 hours. They're really this trend of having really long films.
Yeah, that's long.
Trim it down a bit, but it's doing really well. And Kristen Wiig is really good in it. Is it Wiig or Wiig?
Kristen Wiig. I always say Wiig.
Kristen Wiig. Yeah, I always thought it was Kristen Wiig. Yeah,
they're doing it very well, and it seems a bit of a shame that they're calling it a massive flop because it's like I would have seen it at the cinema if I could. I really wanted to see it at the IMAX, but you can't do that at the moment.
I've got 2 cinema vouchers from last year that were Christmas presents that I haven't used, and I went on the websites. I've got an Odeon one and I've got a showcase one, and I haven't used them yet. So there's 2 vouchers just sat there waiting for a film, and I might go see Ghostbusters 6 times.
Actually, I was going about to film.
Say again, sorry.
There's a new Ghostbusters film isn't coming out with the boy Ghostbusters again because
April. Yeah, they were supposed to be out this year, wasn't it? But they've delayed it till April, I think.
Now, what's the angle on this one, Chris? Is it? It's not a reboot, is it? It's what? So what they're doing with it?
No, it's like the 3rd film, really, with Bill Murray and everybody in it. They're in it.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Are they?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, they are. Yeah, everybody's in it. Apart from Rick Moranis. But I reckon he's going to be in it at the end. Special cameo.
I thought one of them was dead.
Oh, sorry. Harold Ramis is dead. Yeah. But everybody else is.
Right.
But basically, the story is his family they have to move to basically his old farmhouse in the middle of this little town. And there's no spoilers because this is in the trailer.
I saw the trailer. I completely forgot. I've seen the trailer for it.
Yeah, the trailer's
it's brilliant. Yeah. It's really good. Yeah. What did you think of the reboot, the lady reboot, Pop Not Broth of Ghostbusters?
Unpopular opinion. It's a good film. It's good. It's if you look at it in terms of summer comedy blockbusters, it's pretty good. It holds up well. And there's only one other summer blockbuster comedy film, which is The Other Guys, which is also the only good Will Ferrell film and the only good Marky Mark film.
Right, yeah.
And I liked it. I thought it was really good. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I went to the cinema to watch it. I thought it was good, and it got a lot of stick for a bunch of bullshit. I liked it.
Yep, I completely agree.
I was just going to put a comment. We got our friend Mandy McCarthy here, who's in my improv group. Is it too late for me to take up gaming?
What,
No, Mandy.
In the day or in life? I mean, no.
I don't know.
Everyone can.
Come on in, Mandy. Come and talk to us live. She won't know how to do it. Copy that link there on the screen. I'll explain it to you, Mandy. Copy the link, put it in your browser, and you can come in the room. She'll kill me now. She knows how to use this stuff.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you about the Ghostbusters reboot. I completely agree. It got slated for a load of bullshit because ultimately, all those giant man babies who hated it, it wasn't for them. The film wasn't for them. As simple as that. It wasn't. It was.
Star Wars. I mean, the new Star Wars films, they're for the sort of level of kids that the original ones for. But people have grown up. They're not for you anymore. Enjoy them if you like. They're not. Yeah.
You are always going to run the risk of being disappointed if you put all your hopes into that, into the future of that franchise because of nostalgia, and they can't be held responsible for the nostalgia that you have for those originals.
Yeah, I mean, I do have an opinion on it, but it's not.
No. But that's what it's about. It's about having opinions, right?
My opinion of it is I like all the people who were in it. I just didn't like the script very much. It seemed like it was pretty much a copy of the original film in a way. If they'd have done something a bit different, then, to me, it just wasn't that. I didn't think it was that funny for who was in it. That's the best way of looking at it. Well, for example, Bridesmaids, which has got Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy. Loved that. They were great. Yeah. Same director, And then I were expecting a bit more. And then the trouble was in all the media, the thing about it's being compared to the other one and all this, and it's because it's got women in it, and all men are. It kind of outshadowed the fact that hang on a minute, let's have a look at the film here, and there's some really bad gags in it. There's some really.
That is fair criticism.
There's a YouTube video. There's a YouTuber called Sean.
Yeah.
Woodleyan, and he's done a pretty good critical kind of takedown of it. It says that it seems to alternate between a good gag and a bad gag.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The version. If you watch the DVD release version with the extra scenes in, they cut down a bunch of stuff for the cinematic version. Some parts don't make sense.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. No, I went to see it at the cinema. I had a little gap in a rehearsal I was in, and it was me and one other guy in the cinema, and he laughed way too loud all the way through, and it kind of made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. But the film itself, I just really enjoyed it on face value for what it was. It was a fun film, I didn't see it as being it wasn't trying to be a rival to Ghostbusters. It was Ghostbusters for a different audience.
Yeah.
Well, Pop Not Broth, thank you so much for joining us this week. We have, it's really, really lovely to meet you, and I hope actually we can do this some other time. What are you going to be doing now? You're going to get back into Wonder Woman 1984, or you're going to do some gaming?
Possibly, yes. I'm going to crack on with that, although I might have to lie down for a bit because it's been a busy day. I've ridden back from Dewsbury today, and I'm not.
That does sound, and you concertina down on the pavement as well. That sounds like a heck of a day, my friend. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us. Very, very Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you very much for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. God love you. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. And the rest of the show. And I'll keep watching this.
Thank you. You're a lovely human being. And all the best for the rest of the year as well. All the best for the rest of the year. Thank you very much. See you later, mate. Bye-bye. Bye. That was brilliant. I love that. And so if you want to be a part of the show, feel free to just click on the link down below and we can vet you first to make sure you're wearing clothes. Speaking of people who are wearing clothes, we've got a good friend of Chris's coming up. Somebody I was in a film with actually once upon a time. Tuck Bushman, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We're going to bring him in now. Let's bring him in. It's our old friend, Rob Girdler. Hey!
Hey, hello!
Sorry, I've got to watch just so we can get the geek stuff in the background.
Look at that!
It's a cavern of geek. Let's see if we can recognise some stuff. Yeah, Is that an Ant-Man helmet?
It's Fallout 76 power armor.
Oh, it is. Of course, it is.
I've not played that, so I won't know.
Which make of power armor is it? Do you know? Is it?
I think it's just a standard T51B, is it?
T51. Yeah, cool. Are you playing Fallout at the moment, Rob?
I haven't. The problem was with that, I got 76 when it came out, and I played it for the first couple of weeks and did not get on with 76.
No, not many people did. It's a very different game now.
Yeah, I've heard that. Obviously, I get the updates on it anyway. It's maybe go back and try it again, but yeah, I don't know. I like the lone player type thing, so going into multiplayer was never really my style.
You can play this lone. It's actually so Nathan, our other missing geek this week. I got him into Fallout originally. I got him into Fallout 3. And then we played Fallout 4, obviously. And we saw that when Fallout 76, it looked like it was the perfect game for us. And then saw all of the reviews, and we were like, not a chance are we going anywhere near this. It sounds like a piece of shit, and an expensive piece of shit at that when it first came out. But then it was on off. Nathan got it and loved it, and I got it. I think he bought it for me as a birthday present back in March, actually. And to be honest, during lockdown, it's been brilliant just to get lost in West Virginia. It's good. It's really, really good. How was your Christmas anyway, Rob? What have you been up to?
Not a lot. It's been fairly quiet, to be honest, 'cause I live alone and with the restrictions and things, obviously couldn't travel to see the family. So video call them and got to say hi and everything. But other than that, no, it's just been sitting around playing a few video games. I'm sort of mostly Kerbal Space Program these days. But yeah, other than that, taking it easy, enjoying what you can.
Fantastic. Have you been watching any films this Christmas?
Not so much. The only thing I've sort of been watching recently, I've not watched much in the way of TV shows. It's an online stream called Critical Role, which is a D&D stream.
Oh, really?
So it kind of fits in with the Geek stuff.
Role, RO, right, yeah.
ROLE for the role. A bunch of voice actors, all professional people. So Matthew Mercer, Laura O'Brien, Sam Riegel, Taliesin Jaffe, sort of people of that ilk who do it for a living. But yeah, they're actually doing it. What was their home D&D game, they've actually started streaming. They're in the second campaign now. Other than that, I don't really watch a lot of films. There's not been much that's come out recently that's really interesting me.
Not for anyone really. with COVID and stuff. Is there a go-to Christmas movie that you have at all?
For me, it's the classic. It's Die Hard.
Yeah. Have you watched it this year yet?
Not yet. I might get around to it later on tonight after the stream. But I want to come and hang out with you guys for a bit. And
it's great to see you, man. I've got to say, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for coming on. Yeah, I feel like I should have had your scene from the film both now playing, just so people can see you guys in action together. Man. Like a chat show.
Oh, man. How long was that now? It's like 11 years since we filmed that, isn't it?
Yeah, that was in my old flat in Mornington Crescent. With Sadie, who was a guest on prequel, sequel that you had, and my mate Dave as well, who got a little surprise. Tuck Bushman and the Legend of Piddledown Dale is available to stream on Amazon for free.
We got a message here. Any Tuck Bushman action figures? I mean, I wonder who that is.
Come on, Mattel. Come on, Mattel. You know where the big money's at. We want to see a mayor. What was your character called, Rob?
Which one? I mean, the primary was
the mayor.
He's a multi-talented actor, is Rob. You can't do that.
Not that much. They were all basically the same one. Just stick a different wig on.
Mary Line of Nefarious.
Nefarious, that was it. Yes.
Yeah. I think it was still the old sailor that I like playing, Captain Pequod.
Yeah. I put the advert you did with him, the Fishy Fingers advert online.
I did see that. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the old stuff cropping up on there. It's a bit fun to watch that actually. It's I haven't seen a lot of it for a long time.
No, I watched it about 2 years ago, just because it was on Amazon. And how often, as an actor, you're going to get to really watch yourself on Amazon Prime? So I did it, and it was the first time I'd seen it since we saw it at the Hyde Park Picture House. Yeah, on the premiere of it. And do you know what? It was a really nice walk down sort of memory lane. It was a lot of fun. That was a fun time.
Yeah,
And a very ambitious project, Lummy. How did that come about? Though, because those of you who are new to the channel, those of you who've just found us, Chris is a filmmaker. So how did you come about sort of putting the idea together for Tuck Bushman? Was he a pre-existing character that you already had?
No, what it was basically myself and Rob and a few of the others, Nat Smeaton, Matt Hick, and Matt Jackson. We were all doing the comedy show, Discount Comedy Checkout, and we all decided to kind of put a movie together. So we all sat around the table, threw some ideas in basically, and me and Matt Hick put them all into a script, wrote it, and we said we'll use the money from the comedy night to kind of fund the film. And that's what happened really. And then we got people we knew in as cameos like yourself, Rich, to play some parts. So we're all people we knew really. And we made it on a low budget. Then we gave ourselves a nice premiere at the Hyde Park Picture House. But yeah, we just we all played how many characters each, Rob? About 5 characters each, maybe.
I think I was one of the least with either 3 or 4. You and Jackson were up to about 7 or 8, I think, at one point.
Well, what happened was we were going to have Matt Hick. I don't even remember this, Rob. Matt Hick was going to play the main character, Tuck Bushman, originally.
That's right.
And he said to me one day, he said, I don't think I can play the main one. So I thought, well, I'm there the most. I might as well throw myself into it and film it, and we'll try and get it done. So I do think sometimes I'm amazed how we did it and how we got it filmed. The actual behind the scenes, if somebody had been there with a camera filming the behind the scenes, it'd be really interesting to watch it all because we only got a little bit of behind the scenes footage on it. So, but some of the stuff we had to do was, mind boggling, but we did it. So, yeah.
How long is the process from sort of starting the script, starting to workshop the ideas to finishing, and how much of that time was made up of actually filming?
It's difficult because we did it at weekends, so we'd have to go through and look at how many. Because we were getting bits of footage here, there, and everywhere. So I'm not sure, really. Maybe, I don't know. Do you want to have a guess, Rob?
Well, as you say, it was sort of weekends and bank holidays. We from what I remember, the first bits were sort of filmed around January. We finished filming, was it midsummer for the premiere in the October, November? Probably 2 or 3 months of script before that. So it's probably all in. It was about a year from initial ideas and let's actually go ahead and do it and up to getting the products on the screen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
can we bring up Roberto's comments?
Hang on then.
First,
that one or the other one.
To be honest, there's not this. We found out why Roberto got a lump of coal this year.
Sorry, I'll leave it.
You're that guy, Roberto. Yeah, you deserve that lump of coal, my friend. I love you, my friend, but if you are that guy, you deserve a lump of coal. And then the next one as well, because it's a lovely welcome from Rob.
We're trying to work out who this Roberto is, Rob. He keeps coming on to the shows, and we don't know who he is. We think he knows us all.
Well, he definitely knows. He knows Tuck Bushman because he keeps referring to me as Randy Fiddler.
Is he the one person who bought the DVD?
Yeah.
And this is his revenge.
It's for 10 years.
Well, he keeps claiming he's Italian, but he seems to know loads of stuff about us. Unless he's just really good on Google or Facebook. It's like, welcome to the mate. It's good to see you after all these years. So, who is this person?
To you? I would love to know who this person is. We have a fan of Tuck Bushman. It's awesome.
I'm guessing Roberto won't come on as our 3rd member this week because
that'd be a challenge, wouldn't it? Come on, Roberto, put your money where your mouth is. The link's right there. Come and say hello to all of us. Come on. He won't do it.
That'd be fantastic. And also, Pop Not Broth is asking what our favourite film is with one actor playing multiple parts. That's interesting. I mean, most of them have Eddie Murphy in them.
I'm trying to think. One off the top of my head. There's there you go. Pop Not Broth said it actually.
Meg Ryan.
Go versus the Volcano. She plays about 4 or 5 different parts in that.
Forgot about that. God,
good film.
I haven't seen that film since I was a kid. It's a brilliant film.
Yeah.
Yeah, just remember his very bright Hawaiian shirt is probably the thing I remember most about it.
I'm trying to think of some other films, like you say, it's Eddie Murphy, really, isn't it? Who's done the most stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to think of films where people are multicast.
Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire. There you
Ah, no,
Yeah.
that's a good get out. That's a clever get out.
I've been working on my Pierce Brosnan impression, but it's terrible. Everybody keeps telling me it's terrible. I can't do it, and I keep doing the Mrs. Doubtfire bit where he goes, he says, "Mrs. Doubtfire, your accent's a little muddled there." She goes, "Oh, so's your tan."
So
But
did you? So yeah,
I get silence like I'm just.
Well, no, it's just that you sent that to us in the group chat this week,
Yeah,
and I just woken up from a nap, and so I heard your impression of Mrs. Doubtfire, and I thought it'd be really funny to reply with, "No, she went on her own accord," and I was met with equal silence, and I was like, "Anyone else think that his Mrs. Doubtfire impression sounded a little bit Jamaican?" No, just me then on that one.
Yeah,
it's always like having supportive friends, Lummy.
That's it. So what else we got here? We've got Roberto saying he's just said H there. I don't know if he's fell on his keyboard. He must have just collapsed. Did you get any? I'm going to ask. Did you get any geeky type presents, Rob, this year, or was it?
Well, treated myself to a couple of DeLorean model kits from Back to the Future.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, the Back to the Future 2 and 3 with the rail tracks as well.
Oh, amazing.
So it's, the Mr. Fusion version there, and
nice.
The rail track version as well. But they're old kits I had back in the 90s when the films came out.
Fantastic.
And kind of thought, you know what, I fancy rebuilding them. So
are they exactly the same as the kits that you had in the 90s, or are they a re-release?
It's technically a re-release. They did them for the 25th anniversary a few years back, but it's the original mold, so they are the same kit, just a reprint of them.
Nice. Cool. That sounds good. What's your favourite ever geek present that you've ever had? We were talking about this the other week. We did a best and worst Christmas presents. What's your best ever geek present, Rob?
I think it has to be when I was a kid and I got a couple of Transformers. So it was Galvatron, Ultra Magnus, and Optimus Prime all together for that was a bumper Christmas.
Did you ever have Did you have Starscream? What is Starscream?
No, Starscream, and one that came up when you were talking about the other week, Soundwave.
Soundwave was the cassette. Yeah.
No, they were the ones I never had.
Yeah, nobody had it. Who had?
I know. Apart from the kid with the weird mum who stole.
There was just one kid with it in the playground going, "I've got it."
Yeah, we were talking the other week as well about Megatron, how he looked nothing like the actual robot. The thing that I hated about Megatron was, one, it was the most difficult one to transform from the gun into the robot. I just couldn't get my head around it. And the other thing is that really pissed me off is that it was a giant gun. And how is the Starscream figure, ever going to hold this giant gun? It just didn't. It just kind of
shrinks down to the size of his hand. Never really made much sense, did it?
Exactly. And I realise that's a fault with the cartoon and not the toy, but it's it used to really wind me up as a kid.
Yeah, you had to go play with it in the distance to give it its scale.
It's done really far away.
We got a message here from Daniel, who I know. Daniel gone. Merry Christmas, Chris. Can you reminisce about Garinda Child? No, not on here. It's too long a story. Sorry, Daniel. He knows it. He's only trying to goad me.
Is it a good story? I don't know this story.
Oh, it's just a comment in this, but Garinda Chada, the director of Bend It Like Beckham, she was interested in a script I once wrote, and I went to meet while she was making Bend It Like Beckham. That's basically the story. And
I didn't know this.
Did you not? And
no.
I pitched the movie to her and all that, and she was interested in making the script at one point. But then Bend It Like Beckham took off, and people go the separate ways. She made a load of money from it, so it kind of just fell away, the idea. But yeah, it was there for a bit, and I went down and met her, and she was lovely, absolutely lovely. And I met her husband as well. He was a top guy. He's usually the line producer on her films, Paul, and it was cool. It was really nice. So I sat there while they were all filming. Yeah, it was great.
You say you're playing Fallout. Well, you've got the you've got the T-51B power armor helmet there. What is your favorite Fallout game? Because I know this actually. I'm not an old school Fallout guy. I'm very much a Fallout 3 and onwards.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was Fallout 3. Again, I never actually came into the series until 3. So that for me, it just blew me away at that time.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
the graphics, the gameplay, the storyline, it was fantastic. I've got 1 and 2 now to play. I've just never actually got round to them.
Right. What did you think about Fallout New Vegas?
You see, the first time round I played it, I didn't get on with it quite so much, but I sort of replayed it about a year later. At that point, yeah, absolutely, again, superb game. I forget which one it is. It was one of the DLCs I found a bit slow on it. I forget which one it is, where you're off on... Is it the one where you're a bit further away out of New Vegas?
Yeah, there's the one where you're in the gambling place and you've got all these weird spirits.
That's the one, yeah.
Lonesome Road or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So that was sort of the one DLC that I wasn't too keen on with New Vegas. But other than that, yeah, the second playthrough, I got into it a lot more.
Yeah, I absolutely adored that game. It was the one where you had most choices. I thought it was actually the most role-playing game out of all of them, where actually your choices made a difference and fundamentally changed the rest of the game. Whereas the others, although you got lots of choices, actually, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference.
No, you're still fairly limited in the ultimate outcome with it. So.
No, absolutely. I'm just trying to see what I can't try to remember what that DLC was called. There was Dead Money, Honest Hearts, Lonesome Road, and Old World Blues. So I think it was the Lonesome Road one, as you say. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, great series of games. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant.
I was going to say, Roberto just tried to get in the room with us, but he said, try not to. I've got to let you in, Roberto. You got to wait a minute. I saw you pop up, but I don't know if he's going to reveal himself. There were no image on his camera, though. This could be the exclusive we're looking for tonight. Come back in, Roberto. Come back in. I'll let you in.
God, there's a little bit of me worried that this is going to break our relationship with Roberto.
I'm going to have to get my finger on the button quick to get rid of him. If he turns his camera on, it's just him sat in his...
It's around somebody like Jackson or somebody.
I've gone through all the possibilities. I can't figure it out, Robert.
You don't think Jackson would actually put in the time and effort to do this, do you?
Well, Roberto has been on every single Monday night to the prequel sequel show, so we're trying to work out who it is. I'm gonna open my Star Wars beer. I'm gonna try it.
Yes.
Here we go. This is from my brother Richard. Thank you for this. Try it. Smells all right, Stour. Whoa! It's got a kick in that. It's got a kick to it. That Stormtrooper Lager. What they all drink in the Empire. He's still watching. I thought he might have gone. Nice. Cheers, brother. Thank you.
Oh, lovely. Merry Christmas, Rich.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Rich. I haven't spoken to you for ages either.
Yeah. He won't come in. I'd tell him to come in, but I don't think he's got his webcam set up unless he wants to. Always misses the spot. Stormtrooper Lager. Has he got his camera on? Come on in if you got your camera. I don't think he'll come in.
You talk to your brother or Roberto, because Roberto's messaging us as well.
Oh, Roberto. Well, either of them, but I don't think Roberto. I think Roberto chickened out. Cat, she, my friend, meaning that. I know that's Facebook account created in 2012. So I'm not real person. So he's created the account in two. It's like an episode of Miss Marvel. It's or Columbo.
Wait a second. If he put this account up in 2012, that means he's in the room.
I think it's Rob. I think I can't see his left hand. I think he's controlling Roberto's account.
Hang on. There you go. Left hand.
All right. Okay. That's my theory. I'm accusing everybody of it.
Do you know what? I would have pissed myself if your left hand had just had a glove puppet on it when you just go in with a big moustache.
We'll never find out who it is. We won't.
What's your most memorable Christmas, Rob, as a kid? What's your favourite Christmas that you can remember?
I think it comes back to that one with all the stuff. I was probably about 7 or 8, and it was just that good time. You're still young enough. I didn't believe. Well, it was about the time. I think it was the first Christmas I didn't believe in Santa, shall we say? Okay. Which is why I probably got the bigger haul to make up for the disappointment.
Nice, the disappointment. Nice. That's
which kind of helped. But yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of that time of your life as a kid. I was still young enough that life doesn't really bother you. You don't really have a concern in the world, but old enough to be having a bit of fun and enjoying yourself.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's just that period of life. So yeah, I think it's 7, 8, 9 that time.
Yeah, I think I found that Santa didn't exist when I went into our airing cupboard and I found a Dinobot in there, and I was like, "Mum, why is there a Dinobot in our airing cupboard?" And Mum was like, "Oh shit, I forgot to wrap that. It was for your Christmas present." And that was it. That was the moment I realised Santa didn't exist. But
I thought you were going Gremlins then. I thought you were going to give us a Gremlin story.
No. It was the amusingly named Slag, which I always just blew my mind as a child that there was a toy and a cartoon character called Slag. I mean, obviously, in America, it's a very different thing.
Yeah, like Fanny Pack.
Like Fanny Pack and Fanny Craddock. Yes, indeed. So, Chris, what is your most memorable Christmas so far? Because I know you said that you really enjoyed the one where you got the Millennium Falcon. Was that the one that you enjoyed the most?
That's the top Christmas for me. The Millennium Falcon. My parents got it out of the paper because we were pretty poor, so they got it second hand, so it didn't have the Jedi training ball in it.
Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah.
No box, but it did have some figures. So whoever sold it to them through the paper, it had some figures in it like that, and it was mine because I've got 2 older brothers. We used to get hand-me-downs all the time as well. And I remember it's funny how Richard's on. I once got, I don't know if it was for my birthday, but my dad gave me his old fort, and it was called Fort Richard. And I didn't twig that it used to be his, and it was called Fort Richard. And I'm like, wait a second.
So what, like, we kind of had, I mean, look, this Christmas has been very different to most Christmases. Oh, go on.
They had enough to get a new carpet that year, though. I didn't know that.
That's brilliant. Alec and Marge. The son's going to be having words with you. Now, look, this Christmas obviously has been very different for most people compared to, all the other Christmases they've had. Actually, this Christmas that most people have had has been most similar to the Christmas. I've quite enjoyed spending Christmas by myself for many a year. It's one of those things that you go on Facebook and you see everybody have. The only time I feel a bit down about my life choices is when you go on Facebook on Christmas Day and you see all these families having so much fun. But actually, afterwards, when you come back, to reality, and people say, "Oh, what did you do for Christmas?" You're like, "Oh, I just kind of watch films, play PlayStation, just chilled out by myself." It's amazing how many people are like, "Oh my God, that sounds perfect. I wish I'd be doing that." So it suddenly kind of makes you feel more smug. So on your Christmas checklists, what is there that makes the perfect Christmas for you guys, and how does that differ from when you were a kid? Are there any things that you loved when you were a kid that kind of you still really want to have as an adult in your Christmases? So for me, snow. Like, snow is just that real magical thing that if we don't have snow, it always feels like it's just not as Christmassy. So what about you guys? Is there is there a certain Christmas song? Is there a film? Is there a food? Is it about doing things in a certain order?
Any cheesy 80s Christmas music kind of gets me back in the mood. Just growing up in that period. You pick pretty much any year. You pick any song. I think the thing I've missed most, I think a lot of people probably agree this year, it has been getting with family. That's the thing that I have missed. And that's odd because I mean, Chris, who knows me, knows I like to be alone. But that family meal, the Christmas dinner, that's part of Christmas for me. That is one thing I've missed this year. But no, other than that, it's as you say, I suppose you don't miss it until you haven't got it. Many years you would sit there and you would want to go, oh God, I'd love to just sit around, play games all day and not be dealing with the family and all the arguments and everything else that comes around the Christmas table that we all know and love.
Sorry, I've just been distracted by Pop Not Broth's comment, Lummy.
Hang on then, let's have a look. I remember a cover of, I think, the Sunday Times magazine in the early 80s. They had a picture of a glass coffee table, a Santa hat, and a pool of blood. There's no way I could have been any older than 6, but that got me. Sunday Times magazine. What would that be about then? What?
That's incredible.
Glass coffee table, a Santa hat, and a pool of blood.
That's insane.
That is weird.
That is really, really,
memorable.
really weird. Yeah,
So
that
weird.
is very, very. I'm not surprised that that has stuck with you, Pop Not Broth, because that is wowzers. Yeah, that's quite shocking. But no, what about you, Lummy? What do you like to have at Christmas that you had when you were a kid and you feel like, you know?
Without a doubt, Morecambe and Wise Christmas special.
Good call.
Watched it today, watched it yesterday.
What about you, Rob? What's your favourite Christmas special?
Again, probably Morecambe and Wise. It's going back to that childhood. It's just the memories. Yeah, it's what I grew up watching, and again sitting around with the family around the TV at Christmas and watching. Yeah, Morecambe and Wise, whatever kind of comedy. Yeah, it's that.
It's funny. I never really watched sort of Christmas specials with my family when I was growing. I remember like. So it's about, what was it, 15 years ago, the Outnumbered Christmas specials. I quite liked Outnumbered the first couple of seasons of that. That was pretty cool. But yeah, again, I really enjoyed that Tony Farino special. I know it was on that, it was on at Christmas. It wasn't a Christmas special, but it was on at Christmas. And I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, to have Bjork and, you know, and what's the one he did Fishing for Girls with?
Gary Wilmot.
Gary Wilmot. Oh my God. I mean, it's just what an insane premise to a show. I mean, balls on Steve Coogan.
Yeah. Christmas specials, though, great. You know, love it. Love them.
Mrs. Brown's Boys. Now, that is something that does split opinion.
I don't think it will in this room.
Well, see, I don't actually have an opinion on that because I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, okay. But would you, from what you, if you had a gut instinct?
My gut instinct from what little bits I've seen of trailers, no, it's probably not something I would choose to watch.
No. Chris?
I've given it a go a couple of times, but I tell you what I do. I like the fact that the guy is squeezing everything he can out of it. I think he's a very shrewd businessman, and he's found the audience for it. People do enjoy it. He knows who he's aiming it at.
I mean,
so why not?
There are people who I never thought would like that show. Absolutely adore that show. It's crazy.
Comedy. It's so subjective. With comedy, you either like it or you hate it.
You can watch any of them though. It's the same thing happens in every episode exactly, pretty much.
You know, that about many things though. Soap opera episodes, everything that people love. The certain repetitiveness to it, that familiarity in some ways is what a lot of people like about something.
Yeah. I don't like change.
I mean, you could argue
that
I mean, watching the same Morecambe and Wise Christmas stuff every year, you could argue that's me relying on that. So I could see why people like it. And
yeah, but what you're not doing is watching a slightly different or Morecambe and Wise Christmas special that's supposed to be different, but is actually fundamentally exactly the same. You're making a choice to watch the same thing over and over again because it was so good, as opposed to it shows a little less creativity. But then if you got winning formula,
Home Alone 2, yesterday we're on, watched it all the way through.
We watched
no problem.
Did you see? Was the Trump scene in it? Because we watched it on Disney yesterday, and we couldn't find. Because apparently he bullied his way into the film because it was filmed at one of his hotels. They sort of signed everything. He said, "I'll only let you film here if I can be in the film." And they were like, "Okay, yeah, fair enough." And I think they had the plan that what they were going to do was film him and then just leave him on the editing room floor. But when they showed it to a test audience, everyone just cheered when they saw Donald Trump in the thing. They were like, cool, okay, yeah, he definitely bullied his way into the film, but the test audiences loved him, so that's why we kept him in.
Right. Well, yeah, we're in it. We're in the version on ITV.
I don't think he's in the version. I couldn't see him in the version on Disney yesterday. I must have sort of blinked because it's a very quick scene. But
it's really quick. He's got one line. He basically says it's down the hall. He asks him where the lobby.
Yeah, that's right. It's in the foyer of the hotel, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Right down the hall.
Right. Let's have a look.
That was Frank Spencer, by the way.
That was Frank Spencer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait.
And Mrs. Doubtfire. Hey, Roberto.
Is he here?
He's coming in. Should we let him in?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone again. I had him in the waiting room. I was just about to click add to stream, and he went. I saw him.
It is somebody playing games with you, I'm telling you.
Do you recognise him?
No.
Nathan's going to join us, Lummy.
Right, okay. He can come into think at it. I can't believe I saw him.
What does he look like?
He had glasses on and
Draw him while he's fucking remembering.
like one of my French girls.
Oh yeah.
We nearly had him. He's playing mind games. You not let me in. He's put this. Look, you not let me in. Give me 3 seconds.
I don't have control of this, Roberto. This is down to Curly Lum.
If he does it again, I'll let him in. I've got to be quick on the trigger.
That's amazing.
I can't believe it's a real person. after all we've said.
So, what are your plans for the next couple of days then for the festive perineum, Rob? What? You're in West Yorkshire as well. You're in Leeds as well.
Yeah, just on the outside of the city centre.
So, what are you guys? You guys tier 3?
Yeah, unfortunately. So yeah, it's fairly restricted. There's not really much chance to see a lot of people. So no, take it easy. Probably see the new year in with a nice bottle of whiskey if I get the chance. Other than that, if I get a chance for a bit of stargazing, because I do a bit of astrophotography. So
nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, missed the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter the other day because of clouds. But yeah, it'd be nice to still get Mossa in the sky if I can get a chance.
I would say that the other week, that was my Christmas present that I always wanted but never got, was a telescope.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
I was fascinated when I was a kid, just fascinated. In fact, it wasn't long after I'd seen Star Wars that I started really wanting a telescope. I think I kind of believed that I'd get to see spaceships and stuff like that. Which
you're always hoping, but
yeah.
It's a stunning thing. I mean, if I can recommend it to anybody, yeah, do it. Have a look through a telescope if you get a chance, whether you get one for yourself or whether you borrow one from a friend or see one at an observatory. There's nothing quite like looking at the planets just hanging there, seeing just this other body moving in the sky and see some of the detail.
Incredible.
It puts you in your place in the universe.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Hell of a sight.
I remember my mum and dad, they retired out to South Africa, and my dad got sick, so I went out to visit them, and he was in hospital, and they lived in sort of top of this hill, very few street lights, and I remember just looking up to the sky, and I've never seen anything like it. You could almost see sort of the definition and the distance between stars and planets, and it felt like you could reach out and touch something. I've never seen anything like it, because I'm just so used to seeing this kind of what looks like a 2D sort of sky that we have here. It's when you get out in the sticks and look up, it's beautiful. When there's just no artificial light whatsoever.
Oh, if you can get somewhere where you've got no light for 100 miles in any direction, clear night there, what you can see is incredible, even by eye, without the need for a telescope.
No, absolutely, yeah. I spent a lot of time in the Forest of Dean, and obviously there in the middle of the forest there is very little artificial light, and it's beautiful. You can see the Milky Way, and you can see it's brilliant. It's amazing.
I think that actually is one of the UK dark sites, isn't it, or one of the darker sites in the UK?
I would imagine so. Yeah, I would imagine so.
I've got Webmund. He's finally turned up, so if we let him in, come and join us. Here he is. It's our old friend who said he was too busy to do this tonight on Boxing Day.
I've been doing all my boxing.
Say hello to Rob,
sitting around,
you know Rob.
Sitting around twiddling my thumbs. I've been boxing people all day. I'm absolutely shattered.
Look at the biceps on you, Webby.
Look at him. He's been working out.
God.
Too much. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Nathan. How are you doing?
Merry Christmas, man.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year for that company.
Is that your Lego?
Dude, that's a T51 power armor.
Yeah,
helmet.
I can see the power armor helmet. Yeah.
Oh, we nearly had Roberto again. He literally popped in. Look, I was embarrassed as I knocked down my hair and shit. I can't believe this.
This is going to become a running joke every week for you guys now.
I have seen him now, though. I didn't even have time to take a screenshot or anything. He's gone.
Brilliant.
Back in, Roberto. We'll get you in.
I should say, guys, I've got the monitor, so I've got to I'm on dad duty. So if you have
That's all right.
Or in the middle of the night or something.
I don't think we plan to do too much of a late show tonight anyway, but it's just nice to have you, Webby. We missed you.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, it's been nice. We're just hanging out. Played a bit of the game of the month last year on PlayStation was Hollow Knight.
What's that
One
like?
of the games. Yeah, Hollow Knight, and it's like an old-fashioned 2D platform game, really, but it's got these beautiful sort of Nightmare Before Christmas type graphics. I'm looking at the screen of it now. It's like a Jack Skellington kind of character. It's really cool. Hollow Knight, and so yeah, we were playing a little bit of that, trying to, it's just like Sonic, really, except it looks like a Tim Burton-esque type thing. It's cool.
Thanks, Webby.
Yeah.
Thanks, Webby.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Yeah.
What did you get for Christmas then? Come on, what geek stuff?
What did I get? Oh, Geeks.
Yeah,
I did
you
all
must
right,
have
actually.
shit.
I got Ready Player 2, which I get as a sequel I didn't think they needed, but I'm quite.
Have you started it? Have you started it yet?
I had a glance, and I like what I see. Actually, it seems like it's actually plausible.
I'm looking forward to starting that. I'm going to read that tonight.
And I got what? Sorry,
your T-shirt, is that a new T-shirt this year?
Oh no, that's an old T-shirt.
I've never seen that one before.
Where's it from, guys? Come on.
Oh,
Big.
it's from Big. Gremlins.
Big. Come on.
Big. Did you buy?
Hey, I'll tell you what I've got in a minute for us all. I've got some movie trivia in here. Maybe I'll crack some questions out. We'll see.
Oh, crack
Up to you, Rich. Though you're the commander.
I got a little bit of Lego. I've been building one of Robin's Legos today with him.
One of Robin's.
Yeah.
The Tupelo Batmobile. It's really cute.
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, it's 3. I've got to help him build it. But
hey, you'll work your way up to Big Boy Bricks soon. Don't you worry. You'll be there.
I should have brought it in London. I got the Lego Sesame Street.
Ah,
nice.
It's pretty cute, man. Especially if you're a Muppets fan like me. Yeah, it's all right.
Hey, there's a great Muppet fan site I joined on Facebook. You'll love it. You get on there. They keep posting rare videos and things. It's good. I think it's just called Muppet Fan Site.
Fantastic.
Webby, spoiler alert.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I bought Webby this for Christmas.
I'm a bit unprepared. I didn't bring anything in to show you. I've got all my Legos behind me, my old ones, but the new ones, what did I get? Yeah, I got the sent me the night bus. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's been a tiring couple of days. That's why I'm thinking I might skip it because I'm knackered. But
that's right. No, I'm
quite tired. I'll soldier
through.
Right. I'm too excited. I felt like I was missing out so bad, guys.
So because we've been reminiscing about Christmases when we were kids. Now you get to, being a dad, you kind of get to relive Christmas or the excitement of Christmas every single year because you've got a little kid who is at that age now where his presents are starting to get more interesting for you as well.
You're not wrong, man. I've been looking forward to the presents I knew we were getting him and playing with him for months.
Yeah,
for ages. But what you forget about is the ones you get that you didn't know he was getting. Like, just some really cool stuff knocking around. What's he got that's awesome? He's got this stuff that any of you can buy this. I'm sure you can find an online store and get it. But it's this goo. It's stuff that you pour in the bath and it turns your bath into slime.
Hey, I think that's the actual thing that people pay for, like a deviant thing. That that's what I used to work at the cinema with. Genuinely, I won't say his name. Hang on, listen, hear me out. He actually used to do that for a living. It was called gunging. He told me about it. He got paid to pour slime over people in the bath.
Wow. Okay.
Google it. Gunging.
Which cinema? I'd like to try and work it out.
You've just put a massively sinister aspect on this that I wasn't expecting there. But no, it's not that. It's not just that. It's this stuff that turns to slime actually cleans the kids as well without them even realizing they're getting clean. Perfect. But it's slime. So I can't wait to chuck him in that slime bath and see what he knows.
Yeah, you want to be careful. You want to be really careful. He might be like Ghostbusters 2 and he'll come out going, "Fuck you," and just being really angry at everybody.
Maybe so. Yeah. Oh, more than likely, I might have to kick him out of the bath and just jump in and give it a go myself. Try some warm slime out, see what it's like. Clean myself without even trying. That's amazing.
That does sound.
You know?
That sounds like
he's got some-
lazy
he's got
man
some cool
soap.
stuff. Yeah, he's also got. This is a good one. It's a really clever idea, and they could have done. I don't know how long they've done this for, but there's a book. It's a book, and it's got a little model train in the book, and it's a little wind-up train, clockwork train. And you open the book, and the book's got tracks actually embedded into the
Nice.
pages. So it just runs around like on it. It's just like it's just amazing to see him geek out over something. So, you know,
How's he doing with his strong Hulk?
oh yeah, he loves it, man. He loves it. The only problem is Hulk is strong, man. That thing is built to last, and it's much stronger than all his other all his other toys. We can twerk out. I forgot. But yeah, it's much stronger. So he's just been smashing bits of Lego with it and all sorts. Yeah, he's having a good time.
I can imagine that, like, when parents and all the grown-ups and humans leave the room, all those Funko and all the other toys are just cowering in the corner and strong Hulk's just bossing shit.
Yeah,
it's like
I think they do it. I think they do it when he comes in the room. I think they try and run away a bit. You know, like Toy Story 3, where honestly, because it is a bit like that. Well, he's a bit better now. Not everything goes straight in his mouth. You know what I mean? Like, just whatever toy it is. Oh yeah, but yeah, he's 3. It's funny to watch a 3-year-old in general. Like, you just forget. You're like, oh, you guys are so childish. What's wrong with you? I haven't been 3 for ages. You know, just forgot what it's like.
All right then, gentlemen. What guilty present, like geek toy, would you actually secretly / not so secretly like to have? So if you had carte blanche to go into any shop and just be like, I'm buying that, and I don't care, because we're at that age now where we can wear our geekiness on our sleeve with pride. I mean, we've got a whole show just to celebrate it. So if you was go into a shop and with no shame and full of pride, what toy would you like to go and buy? Say tomorrow. Lummy.
Straight away, I've got it, mine.
Go
Lego
on.
Millennium Falcon, the 600 quid job, hands down. Seen it out, love it. I'd buy it.
Stole it.
Would you
stole
try?
my answer? Like
would
that
you try-
Lego set stole my heart. I'll never be able to get it. I know it. I mean, that would be a splurge on the credit card. That one.
It's insane. You can't buy. You cannot justify buying it, but everybody wants it.
Yeah,
You just can't.
I just didn't bother justifying it. I just bought the damn thing.
Oh no!
Have you got it?
I have got that. Not the original release, but yeah, the new special edition from a couple of years ago, the 650 one. Yeah.
No
How many
offense, man.
pieces?
But
How many pieces, Rob? How many pieces?
I think it's about 6,000 or
6,000,
something.
7,000.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
biggest set they ever did so far.
Unfortunately, it's not built, or I would have tried to have had that in the shot as well today.
Wow.
Then you wouldn't have fit in, man. The thing is huge. You wouldn't have fit in the shot, Rob. You wouldn't have fit in.
Have you built it?
My coffee table. Yes.
You have built it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It took about 30 seconds from me walking in the door before I started.
Wow.
Yeah.
It didn't wait.
Yeah, wow.
That's amazing, man. It's so good. And the thing is, a purchase like that, you can in a way you can justify it because it'll never be undervalued. It'll never be undervalued ever. Because everybody
will
wants
never
it.
lose the value on that. I mean, you look at the original one. That's what you can't pick up for less than $2,000 at least now.
Yeah.
The original release one of the special edition.
And this one shits all over that one, man.
This is it. I was always gutted that I'd never got that original one. Always actually wanted that. So yeah, when they did the
Awesome.
The brother said awesome.
doing the re-release.
Wow.
Have you got any of the other UC? I don't know if people know at home. There's a Lego do these special Lego sets called UCS Ultimate Collector Series. They've done quite a few
big ones.
The Millennium Falcon is one of them. But have you got any others, Rob?
No, and there comes the Geek one that I would like. It's the Star Destroyer.
Really? I would love. They did I've got a Sandcrawler, but I would love the UCS one. I would love it. It's beautiful, man. It's about 3 times bigger than the one I've got or something. And the one I've got, it's all right.
Roberto's here. Should we get him in?
Yes.
This guy's
Is he
got
going to get in this time?
He can't.
Is he going to get in?
Right,
if
if you fall for it every time.
If he comes in again, I'll just put him in the room. I won't ask because he keeps coming on thinking he can come straight in, but I've got to add him. So I'll just throw him in whatever we're saying next time.
I
Sorry
think
to
he's just winding you up, man.
No, I'll get him in the next one.
This is going to be when I edit all these videos together for our YouTube channel, and it's going to be a fun edit, just making up all the times that Roberto gave us a false alarm.
And Lummy
I'll
reacted.
It's a drinking game soon.
Yeah,
I'll just put him in. I'll put him in next time. He's coming in with us.
Such a tease, Roberto.
Roberto, he's put here. Look, fucking hell. It's put makes no sense. Roberto, you have to click the link, and then I put you into the main room. That's how it works. I know you're Italian,
dude.
What? So's my girlfriend, man.
Nothing wrong with Italian people. They understand computers.
I know it's a joke, Webb. Come on,
being an Italian
it's a joke.
race hater.
I love Italian.
I know you.
Webby, so are you gonna go for the Millennium Falcon as well, or have you got a different one now that Lummy's stolen your thunder?
Man, I'll take any of those UCS sets. And I'm a Lego.
It would be Lego. So it would definitely be Lego.
Please.
So it'd definitely be Lego.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably.
I just remembered, Rob, you've got the what's the ship called out of Avengers? You've got that, haven't you?
Oh, the
helicarrier.
Helicarrier.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because the story behind that was because I never thought I was going to get the Millennium Falcon, and I wanted a big display piece. I bought the helicarrier, and then about 6 months later was when they announced the Falcon. So unfortunately, I ended up with both. I mean, it's a tragedy.
Man, I've got it for you.
I'm trying to think.
I've always loved Lego, but Nathan got me kind of back into. Well, actually, this is the only Lego set I have.
But you live your Lego fantasies vicariously through me, man. Yeah,
exactly.
You know.
Because as you see behind Nathan's in my old bedroom there, and that window ledge behind Nathan is like 1/2 meter wide, and it's a bay window, and it's perfect for storing Lego on. Whereas I live in a room in a shared house, and it's kind of I just don't have the space to store anything. So a Harry Potter night bus is pretty much all the space I've got. But when I was trying to justify being an adult playing with Lego, I just suddenly every Christmas you see people playing with jigsaws and things like that, and I'm like, it's just like a 3D jigsaw. That is all it is. It's just like
what's weird about it, man. I would have never even bought any if you hadn't have originally bought me one for Christmas.
I bought you the X-wing. I bought you the X-wing from Rogue One, didn't I?
Yeah, and that was I just enjoyed playing with it. I'm building it. I don't say playing with it. It's not. I'm not playing with it. I'm building it. But yeah, I enjoyed the experience of building it over that Christmas so much. I was as surprised as anybody else.
Don't lie. You absolutely adored having fun doing that starting scene from The Mandalorian last week.
That's the first one. Yeah, that's the first one. You got me the Poe Dameron's.
Yeah, it does look awesome though.
Yeah, it's cool. The only problem with this one is that it's got like rubber bands, and they
wear out.
Yeah, so you can't make it go ka-cha at the minute. Speaking of X-wings, I found this guy on YouTube the other day called Restore and Repair or something like that. But he takes toys from his childhood that he finds and completely restores them. And he was doing the 1977 original X-wing, which had little.
Hang on, guys! Breaking! Oh, he nearly.
You just introduced him. You've done exactly what you said you weren't going to do.
No, I clicked him in, and he didn't.
He's on it. He's on it. He's clicking.
Screw him. He won't let us in. Sorry, go on.
He's restored this X-wing perfectly. The original one had the. Do you remember the little spring in the R2 Lummy that you used to have to press down so the wings came out? You guys remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, and there was a little blue clicker next to that. You had to click to get the wings back in. And this one had batteries in it and had a little LED at the front. And this guy just restored it immaculately. It's beautiful. Took all the stickers off with this, soaked it in water and stuff. Took the stickers off, reprinted the stickers, and it was just bone white at the end of it. It was unbelievable. What a job! What a job he did. I'm probably citing him wrong. I can't remember his name, so I do apologise. But yeah, Google X-wing restore on YouTube, and I'm sure you'll find it. But yeah, it was good. Oh, Rob, you're a guitar person, and you, Gittins.
Go on.
Check this out.
And
Oh,
me.
your Bluetooth.
No. This. Can you read it? Hang on. Harmony. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Look,
Any
it's,
good?
it's
that
I don't
pedal?
know yet. I haven't plugged it in yet because it didn't come with a power pack. But look at it. It's a pedal.
It's tiny.
It's an actual guitar pedal. It's honestly, you can fit it. Oh, it's absolutely tiny. You can't see the scale of it. Look how tiny it is.
Wow.
Modern electronics.
I'm
for
just
you.
in love with it. It's really it's got a good weight to it. It's like feels like it's really well made. But Jesus, I can't wait to plug it in. I just wish I'd have known it didn't come with a power pack. But yeah, harmony pedal that I got. They're cheap as chips as well, dude. I knew it was going to be small, but really, I don't even know. It doesn't even look big enough to take the wires, to take the jack plugs. It's insane. Yeah, cute. So yeah, not totally geeky, but music geeky.
It's absolutely fine. It's a nice present to have.
Yeah.
So no, Roberto is messaging us to say hello. You hear me?
Forget him. It's dead to us now.
No, no, you're not. You're just temporarily in a coma, Roberto. You're not dead to us. I'm always there for you, my friend. I love having you part of our show.
I tried to put him in then, and it literally started connecting, and then he bailed. So screw him.
I think it's been fun.
I've seen his reel now, so I believe him. So he can take that. We know you're a real person now, and I don't recognise you.
When you say he had glasses on, like, did he have a fake mustache or like?
It was like, do you know one of them flip things in Guess Who? It looked like one of them.
I knew it.
Wait a sec. It might have just been that.
Yeah.
Might have just been a Guess Who slide.
Yeah.
So, Christmas meals this year, gentlemen. How were your Christmas dinners? Because that is, I saw some images on, how people rate their breakfasts on Twitter and on social media and things like that. People were doing it yesterday with their Christmas meals, and I saw a Christmas meal yesterday that had sweet corn on it. Don't know how you guys feel about sweet corn on a Christmas meal. It was touching the gravy. It also had lettuce, and it had pineapple rings.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
It's a combo.
Pineapple's just wrong. Very wrong.
Yeah.
Pretty strange, but each to their own. I think people have got this all like, oh, do you have a mince pie? I don't have a mince pie. Like, can you have Yorkshire puddings with it? It's Christmas Day. Celebrate. If you want sweet corn, have it. Lettuce, yeah, sure, have it. Do you want gravy on your lettuce? Do you want me to avoid the lettuce with the gravy, or
just garnish it with pineapple rings. Yeah, no, it's
yeah.
So, what's your ideal Christmas dinner, Rob? What trimmings would you have?
It's got to be anything except sprouts. I do not like
you're
sprouts.
Not sprout fan.
No, do not like sprouts. Don't agree with me, and nobody wants to be anywhere near the room with me afterwards. But no, it's turkey, mash, roast potatoes, lots of gravy.
So you are a mash and roast potato person as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I am as well, but I've recently been sort of shamed for having mash and roast potatoes on a Sunday roast and a Christmas dinner. What about you, Chris and Nathan? Are you mash and roast potatoes?
You've been potato shamed, man.
I've been potato shamed. I'm being tax shamed. One of my housemates and another friend.
Well, I think that's disgusting.
Roberto.
Oh,
Roberto.
It was there, and it's.
Yeah.
Come on, Roberto.
It was there. It was. I swear it was there. This is the big reveal. Come on.
How fickle you are, Lummy. 1 minute you're like, you know what? You're dead to me. You're dead to me. In fact, before that, you were like, yeah, Italians. Screw the Italians.
Roberto, can you hear us?
Then you became one.
Like someone knocking on the door.
Roberto, can you hear us?
He's just messaged to say he'll be right back. Somebody's knocking on his door.
What if he never comes back?
No, what it's going to be is going to keep having someone knock on his door, and it's going to be, why do you keep knocking on the door? Keep answering it. And they're going, I don't know how a door works. It's going to be life imitating art. 15 minutes is Alfonso outside. You talk a lot.
This is so weird.
Oh dear.
He's not turned his sound off, but I can't hear out.
We're all just sat here in suspense now, aren't we?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Since we're dinner
As soon as he
talking-
clicks on, I'm going to boot him.
Oh, it's horrible.
nicest thing, just going back a sec to the Christmas dinner thing. Nicest thing I've
Yeah.
ever had. No, nicest thing I've ever had at Christmas dinner was vegetarian. Years and years ago. It was like 6, 7 years. No, more than that. 9 years ago, let's say. Go for 9. And it was a cranberry and brie Wellington.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
very nice.
I made cranberry gravy yesterday.
Not that my
Christmas.
not that my dinner
Great.
yesterday was rubbish or anything. It was amazing. It was great. It was stuffed all day.
Is your fiance watching this by any chance?
Probably not. She's,
Okay. Oh, she's the person who probably made the dinner.
dude, the kid got up at 5 yesterday, and then about he just left
Christmas?
yeah, exactly. But we didn't. Nobody napped. We just stayed up all day like maniacs. By about 9 o'clock last night, we had no idea what day it was or anything. I was just like, oh my god, what's going on?
I had
it
to
was
have a
long
nap.
day.
I had to have a 2-hour nap after Christmas dinner.
I wish.
Oh God, I was knackered. I was so tired. Fell asleep watching Harry Potter. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Just a nice wintry way to spend an afternoon.
Has anybody watched the new Pixar one that came out today?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
No. Do you know what it
No,
is?
so
I don't even know there was one.
Yeah, there's a brand new one. It's called Soul. With Jamie Foxx playing the lead character, who's a jazz musician, stroke teacher, and he ends up. I don't know too much about it. I haven't seen it yet. I just saw the trailer. It looks good. It looks really good. But he ends up. It's all to do with the soul. No, I don't want to say what happens because I don't even know if it's true. But yeah, he ends up in the world of the souls and learns how souls are and stuff. Watch the trailer. It looks really good. But yeah, they released it as a Christmas present, like Christmas Day release.
Nice.
I like a good Pixar.
Yeah.
And they usually
I like a
pretty
bad
good,
Pixar, me.
Yeah. What's
I
a
love
bad
a bad
Pixar
Pixar.
then? What's a bad one? Give us
That
an
dinosaur
example.
one they did, that one very good.
Yeah, that
wasn't it?
one's great.
That's a bad
What's
Pixar,
that?
but I still liked it. I like a bad Pixar.
I can't think of any others that are particularly bad, but
That's the only one.
they're
They're
not
all
all
brilliant.
great.
They're all
I thought-
good. I'm only
I thought-
messing. They're all good.
I thought
They're
Up
all
was-
good.
Up was a bit slow, but also made me cry in the first like 5 minutes. Like, what are you?
Yeah, that intro. Holy crap.
Jeez.
I liked Ratatouille. I thought that was great.
Ratatouille is a great film. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. And I also really, I don't know if it's Pixar. Pirates Adventures with Scientists. Is that what it's called?
I know.
No,
I know
That's
it's not hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
it's
so. yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
absolutely- Have you seen that one?
I've seen half of it. I think my nephew
Oh.
put it on.
I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
Brilliant.
Excuse
But
me.
it's got a different name because I remember trying to find it. I watched it with you, Webby. I think you'd introduced me to it, and then I tried to find it when I got back down to London, and I found it, but it was with a completely different name. And I
You
You
think-
didn't buy it off one of them London markets, did you?
Yeah, it's exactly where I got it from. Yeah, yeah.
I think I know it as Pirates and Adventure with Scientists or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's really funny. It's really funny.
What is your go-to non-Christmassy Christmas film? So, like, like every bank holiday they'll do like a James Bond or something like that. That isn't necessarily a Christmas film. So,
But I
what is
want
the
to watch it around Christmas. I usually
Yeah,
go-
it's the go-to.
Yeah, something like Back to the Future or Lord of the Rings. I don't know why. They just feel like holiday movies when you got a bit of time to watch a trilogy.
We do the Harry Potter films. They're not Christmassy films, but they feel like good sort of wintry.
Well, some of them are
autumnal-
set at Christmas and stuff. Aren't
Well,
they?
they
So-
do a whole year, so of course they do sort of skip past Christmas. But what about you, Rob? Is there a non-Christmassy film that you like to try and watch? I know you said you watched Die Hard, but I mean that's universally accepted now. That's a Christmas film.
This is, I suppose, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, maybe. I like the
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's always a good one just to pass some time and have a bit of fun watching.
It's usually stuff that was on Christmas when you were a kid. On at Christmas when you were a kid, isn't it? That you go.
All right. What's your favorite out? We're gonna forget the fourth one. What is your favorite out of the 3 Indiana Jones films that exist?
For me, it's the first one I saw, which is actually the last one. It's Last Crusade.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, just because it was the introduction to it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's a very close second is Raiders. For me, the weaker of the 3 is Temple of Doom. But no, Last Crusade, just because that was the introduction, that was meeting this archaeologist and this sort of adventure. It was just awesome. I was in '89, I think that came out.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. What about you, Lummy?
I can't answer.
You can't pick.
Can't
Can you
pick.
not? Why? Because it's
them.
Harrison Ford, and you feel guilty.
I love them, but as Rob said, I think the third one, it's got the chemistry between Connery and Ford, father and son. Brilliant comedy, but Raiders is a bit more of a serious take on it. Totally different. And obviously, all the stuff that go with it. They're all good. Even Temple of Doom's got good stuff in it,
it's not a bad film.
Yeah, it's not a bad film, but I can't pick. I like all of them, but if I had to choose, maybe I'd go with Rob's Last Crusade, probably, because it's got everything. It's got everything in it.
I think I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to say number 2, but not for the reasons you think. Temple of Doom was my favourite because
that's not controversial at all.
The first one I saw at the pictures, and I've got strong memories of our Dan having to take me out at the bit where he had to take me to the toilet. Because I would have been, what, bloody hell, 5, 6. We saw it in the pictures. Yeah, we got that bit that got edited in some bits. So I like it because of that. That was the first one I saw. And
Killed Monkey Brain. Yeah, I love that. It's brilliant.
Then I saw Raiders, and then I saw Last Crusade. But I think the third one is the best, but because of the nostalgia of it. Second.
I mean, I love Crystal Skull.
Get out!
Kick him out of the room. Kick him out.
Oh, come on, Roberto. Come on,
You're back a
Roberto.
minute ago. Come on.
I love your devotion to this.
I'm rooting for you, Roberto. You are the Christmas gift I didn't realise I wanted.
I can't hear anything. You hear me? He's just said in chat.
Oh,
We can't hear you because you've turned your thing off.
if I close my eyes, I can see you, Roberto. And Temple of Doom is my favourite. I saw it first. Temple of Doom, Temple of Doom, Crusade, then Raiders for me, I think.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, like the second one's not perfect at all. It's not my actual favorite. When I rewatched them recently, and when I did, the second one is clearly the one with the dodgiest bits in it because of the sidekick and the sort of weak ass female role who just screams at everything.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays, were they to redo that exact same movie, they would probably put a much stronger female lead in it. But
when I was a kid, I loved Short Round was amazing. When I was a kid, I absolutely loved him as a character. I mean, maybe growing up you see things differently. I mean, ciao, Roberto. He's got to go now, guys. Ciao, Roberto.
We're never here. See ya.
Roberto, you're always here, my friend. Always here. Ignore what Curly Lum says. I mean, you see and you appreciate them differently as you get older. So my appreciation for Raiders of the Lost Ark grew massively, when I was old enough to understand the Nazis and all that sort of side of it. But it just felt like a much more serious film.
But I think the good thing about these films is they're so rooted in like a reality, like they're happening in a world where World War II is going on, and but each one of them's got that supernatural aspect, and the reason one of the reasons Crystal Skull messed up, in my opinion, was because they went overboard with that. They thought they needed an unbelievable aspect every couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So one minute they're getting chased by a type of ant that don't exist, but if you go near it, it devours your entire body within like 30 seconds. And then
that was my worst part.
They're swinging through the jungle on the bloody ropes, from rope to rope, like Tarzan.
It's like, okay, we get it. Your dad's good with a whip and can swing from a couple of things in a few of the other films. So suddenly you're Tarzan. Yeah.
He's having an unbelievable fight on the back of a Jeep that looks really fake. And then you get to the actual bit with the crystal skulls where they get into the place, and it's just one unbelievable sequence of events after another. You know, even going back to when they fight those pygmy things that come out of the wings.
I forgot about that.
But the worst thing about it for me is still the fact that at the end of it, when they stood at the mountain and the giant, spoiler alert, giant UFO comes out of the ground, there's like a cyclone going around with bits of rubble swirling around at mad, and they're all stood there. Not one of them gets hit by so much as a single pebble, and they're right next to it. And I'm just like, eesh.
Yeah, not one of them goes, I've got something in my eye. It stings.
And the other thing was the sting in the tail was Spielberg said that wasn't going to happen. That he was when they made the fourth Indy, they were going to stick to the roots. They were going to stick to what made it successful in the first place. And in his eyes, it was a good blend of a brilliant story, brilliant script, great acting, and practical effects. And I'm not sure what happened at some point, but I did hear this legend that this little rumor that George Lucas got involved. He said, "Yeah, you say that, but you want to see the work that we're doing here?" And remember, he's my character after all, So yeah, for those of you that don't know out there, George Lucas wrote Indy, and he gave it to Spielberg to direct. Why? Why did he do that? Was he busy with something else?
He just finished Star Wars, and he talked to Spielberg about it, and he didn't want to direct. I don't think he was burned out after Star Wars, so he said he'd just produce. So, and also, I mean, Spielberg obviously had a good track record of,
How many indie stories are there?
Stories?
What do you mean?
I'd heard about the Crystal Skull when I was a kid. A friend of mine, I think I said on a previous show, a friend of mine had said, there's this story, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. It's about
like the unwritten ones, because the best ever unwritten one I remember was one called.
Well, I think it's written as a novel.
Check this out for an idea. Lummy might know more about the actual story. They did a game of it, and it was Indiana Jones and the Fates of Atlantis. Yeah, and he was on the hunt for Atlantis. What a brilliant storyline, man! Whichever way.
Yeah, Rob will have played this as well, won't you, Rob?
Oh yeah. But two versions of the action and the adventure game.
Oh really?
I used to love the LucasArts point and click stuff.
Brilliant game.
Maniac Mansion, Monkey Island, and obviously the Indiana Jones stuff.
Oh wow! I didn't know there was an Indiana Jones series.
There was a comic book of them as well. They did Dark Horse Comics did a load of them. Marvel Comics started off. They did adaptation of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Then they did the Further Adventures of Indiana Jones, which was 34 issues, all different adventures. Really good stories, pretty good artwork and all that.
Indiana Jones ones as well, they were great.
Yeah, Dark Horse brought them out as well. But Dark Horse did some series of Indiana Jones as well, and that's what they had Fate of Atlantis in. They did a comic adaptation of it. Then, I don't know if you know this, they were going to do another LucasArts game, and it got 60% into production. It was called Indiana Jones and the Iron Phoenix. And they had to cancel production because they were trying to. The plot is basically about resurrecting Hitler from the dead.
Wow!
Right, and they realised that they couldn't sell the game in Germany, and it was one of the biggest markets for LucasArts, so they scrapped the whole thing. And there was a Dark Horse comic book series of that thing, and it says in the intro, as seen in the upcoming LucasArts video game. So that tied into the game. So it was going to be a point and click like the other. So yeah.
So it's not the first time a massive company like LucasArts has floundered with something that you'd think they'd have the resources to follow through. Because do you remember when Battlefront 3 went under, Lummy?
Oh yeah.
And I think it were you that were telling me that there were loads of footage of it online, and you were like, "God, look! It looks amazing. It looks beautiful," and it did. It looked like pretty much what it is now.
But
10 years ago or so, wasn't it?
Similar things just happened with Left 4 Dead 3. They were supposed to be doing Left 4 Dead 3, and I think it all fell apart at quite a late stage. So what they've done is it's like Blood for Dead or Dead for Blood or something like that. But basically, there's a game coming out next year, and it is basically Left 4 Dead 3. But they've just renamed all of the all the zombies, but it's exactly the same gameplay. Basically, I don't know how they've managed to get away with it. Indiana Jones always made me want to be an archaeologist when I was a kid. I was desperate to be an archaeologist, and still, to be fair, I still get excited by the idea of secret passageways and things like that. And it's all because back passageways, of course. Thanks,
Love them. He never stops talking about
it. Always made me want to murder Nazis.
Yeah, always. Okay, so what other films have...
And be an archaeologist.
What other films have there been that when you were a kid, like Karate Kid, made me want to take up karate? What films have influenced you, and in what way when you were younger?
Ooh.
And how far did you take the sort of charade? So
Ferris Bueller, man.
You never went to school. Yeah, we can tell.
And he always talked to a fictional camera. Do you remember when we were at college? He just turned to the fourth wall and go,
I don't know what you mean.
I didn't think the day would go like that.
Every time I try to do an opinion, I don't know what you mean.
I remember Lummy trying to remake Ferris Bueller with you one day when you guys took a day off college. Do you remember?
That's true. Yeah. I do remember. Yeah. We did about 3 shots and then went, nah. I forgot that. Yeah, you're right.
I remember when you two never showed up for college because you were seeing your respective girlfriends at that time, and
at Lummy's house.
You phoned up and said that you were locked in the house.
And it was a rehearsal for Jesus.
You couldn't get out. You were locked in, and the teacher was having none of it.
Yeah, we both.
And then we went to the nicest tutor we knew, Roy, and we had to lie to him.
And he turned around and said, "I don't know Rich too well, but I've known Chris for 3 years, and there is no doubt, there's no chance that Chris would lie. I would trust him implicitly." And we were sat there going, "Oh, fucking hell, this is awful."
This was the sweetest man you could have. You were like everybody's granddad, wasn't he, Roy? And you're like,
lovely.
That were his test, and we failed it.
So go on. What films influenced you to kind of role play or make believe when you were a kid, or made you want to have that as a job? And how far did you take that playfulness?
Well, for me, Doc Brown in Back to the Future kind of be interested in the whole tech science thing. Kind of where I ended up going in life was computers and stuff like that on the tech side.
Brilliant.
Always wanted to be Doc Brown. Quite happy to everybody else be the lead. Be Marty McFly if you were playing around at school in the playground, just pretending you're in the middle of the chase with the Libyans and shit like that. Running around, kind of doing stuff like that as a kid.
It'd be brilliant, man. If you just had a Doc Brown, because I wanted to be Marty McFly, not because I thought Michael J. Fox was totally amazing, but because he got to skateboard. He got to skateboard around, and that's how I played as Marty McFly, because I didn't have a DeLorean to mess around in, I was had to skateboard around and pretend I was brave enough to grab the back of a car and take a little... Yeah.
What about you, Lummy?
What when we were kids, what we used to...
Yeah, I mean, we know that you've still got your Indiana Jones outfit that you wear now as an adult, but as a kid, how did it influence you? What film? How did it influence you?
It always boils back down to Star Wars for me, which is a bit of a boring answer, but that's the thing I used to play all the time as a kid with. Like, there was a kid on our street, Lee, and we used to play Star Wars, and we'd always use the garden as the Millennium Falcon, different parts of the garden as different sections, and you'd hit imaginary doors, with your hand when you run away from people, and do the whooshing noises of the doors and all that business. And that's why I went into astrophysics.
Yeah, mine was.
That's why I tried to make films, and low budget.
Mine three films: Ghostbusters, Man, I was obsessed, and because I lived in a big old fucking sort of mansiony hotel sort of house.
Shining.
The Shining, yeah.
And he used to have baths with grandmas as well.
Yeah, sexy grandmas.
Yeah, make his grandma get in the bath. No, you're not doing it right, Grandma. You've got to be scarier and take your bloody clothes off.
And then he'd finish with a drink in the hotel bar.
God, can't I put a little bit of hot in? No. I want it to be realistic.
So Ghostbusters, Tim Burton's Batman. I used to try and make gadgets and like run around the gardens, like pretended I was Batman. And Young Sherlock Holmes. I don't know if any of you ever saw that film.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with that film when I was a kid. I used to sit and play with my chemistry set while that film was just playing on repeat constantly in the background. That's an awesome film, and it still stands up today. It's a brilliant film. Really, really good.
First time they did CGI in a film, that the stained glass window in the.
Really?
Yeah.
They also had all these pastries and cakes that came to life and tried to attack the guy.
Stop motion animation.
It's brilliant. Really, really, really
great film. It's a great film.
Man, Goonies.
Oh, Goonies.
Of course, I love to. If us four were kids and we had a little Goonies adventure, amazing. Find some treasure.
I always have one as adults.
Yeah. I always wanted to be Data. I loved all the gadgets. I was just really keen on like gadgets and stuff like that. So I was just quite obsessed with that idea when I was a kid. He was brilliant.
Yeah, I totally missed that. Yeah, Goonies, definitely. Yeah.
I was a bit obsessed with treasure finding when I was a kid because my mum had this book called Masquerade, and it's quite famous. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. And this guy in the 70s released a book called Masquerade where he claimed to have buried a 15th century hair, a golden hair, like the outline of a hair with these precious jewels in.
Rabbit, as in a rabbit?
Yeah, as in the rabbit. And he buried it somewhere in the country, somewhere. They knew it was in the UK, released this book. And in the book, every page is a clue, but it's a beautiful, decadent, amazing drawing. And somewhere in that drawing is a hair and there's clues. And this guy figured it out. I can't remember what it was, maybe 30 years ago, the guy actually found this thing and dug it up. And but yeah, it's absolutely I was obsessed with trying to find it. Every page has got a hair somewhere on it, and you've got to find it. But these drawings are like, like really decent old 70s psychedelic not movie posters, like band posters, concert posters. Like Frank Zappa or Jimi Hendrix have got that crazy lettering. It was that kind of style, really drippy, really beautiful, and really intricate. But it all had this. There'd be a poem on one side and this picture on the other, and it just when I finished the book and I'm like, has anybody ever found this, Mum? She's like, no, nobody's found it yet. This because that was at the time where people were still looking for it, and there was a documentary on about him a while back, just going on about the fact that they found this hair. Somebody actually dug it up. Just crazy. So yeah, I always wanted to find some buried treasure.
Nice.
That's it.
Cool. Oh, Last Starfighter as well. That was a good one. Do you remember that?
I never saw that when I was a kid.
No, I never got on with it as a kid. Actually,
you've seen it, Rob?
Saw it a couple of years ago for the first time.
Oh right, yeah. Right, yeah, it's maybe that was just me then. I thought everybody had seen.
That's a great shout. So, what film that everybody watched in the 80s or early 90s that like was a staple that completely missed you by, and you've only seen fairly recently, like Rob with The Last Starfighter? So, for me, it was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Yeah,
I've never seen that.
Yeah, saw it 2 years.
No,
you've never seen it.
Rob, give it a go, man. It's amazing. I saw it 2 years ago.
It's
John
great.
Candy is just.
It's great.
Anything with John Candy is usually gold.
But he plays such an annoying but really beautifully vulnerable character. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lovely film. It's brilliant.
And he pushes Steve Martin to replace that. Like, Steve Martin plays that character quite a lot. or a similar character, but he really pushes him in that film. It's great.
We've got. I was just going to say we've got somebody in the waiting room called Beebs, but there's no picture on the webcam. I don't think we can allow him in.
Beebs.
Why?
Well, I don't know. Beebs is hashtag
anybody.
titty gang. Hashtag titty gang has pricked my curiosity.
What?
He's my friend, Roberto. We need to see him before we can let him in. I think that's the rules, isn't it, Rich? That's the rules.
Yeah, that is the rule. We do need to see your face just to make sure that you're a real person
And not just some boobs.
and not just
Pair of faceless boobs.
Oh my god, I don't have makeup on. That's all right. Neither do we. Totally
I
fine.
do. I'm a bit insulted you didn't notice.
I didn't even see them. Right.
I rouged.
To be honest, it was your glasses.
It's Blair, aka Will. I'm not showing up with no lighting on makeup.
Who's Will?
Turn the light on then.
Will Young, the famous singer. Who else is there? Will Forte from Last Man Standing.
What was the question, Rich? I forgot now.
It was what film have you that everyone loved when they were younger, or was like really famous film when they were younger, that was a staple that you came to quite late on in life? So for me, it was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Has anybody ever seen Fright Night from the 80s?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's one recently. I'd never seen it, and I watched that. I thought, wow, how come I've never seen this?
God, I can't think about it. I've watched recently.
Does anyone remember the Monster Squad when you were a kid?
Yeah.
I loved that film. That was brilliant.
I have watched stuff that was like resentful. Like when I finally got round to watching Godfather in my early 20s, I was sick of hearing about Godfather. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm not bothered. When I actually sat down and watched it, I was blown away. Absolutely blown away. I even like the third one that everybody hates. There's a couple of things I don't like about it, but on the whole, a bad Godfather movie is still way better than most other movies for me. So yeah, that was one that did become a favourite.
Watched Friday Night, Martin Cameron, yeah. Just putting up comments just as they come in.
No, I haven't seen Friday Night. I'll go and give it a go. What's your favourite horror film?
My favourite horror film.
Yeah.
Okay,
no. What horror film affected you the most, or what scary thing affected you the most when you were younger?
I don't think any horror film ever really scared me when I was younger, because I always kind of grew up understanding about the effects inside of it.
Right.
As far as favourite horror films when I was a kid, it was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Which I started watching when I was about 9, 10. But yeah, so even to this day, I've never found nothing that actually scares me. Psychological horror is a different thing, but it's outright jump scares and things like that don't get me in films.
No.
If you want a psychological type film, The Cube.
Okay. So I'm writing down little notes that people are suggesting, so I can actually go and give it a go. So yeah. Cube.
For me, it were The Exorcist, and I'll tell you why. Because I watched it when I was about 13, 14 with my brother. We found it was banned at the time. We somehow got hold of a VHS copy of it. Sat down to watch it expecting big things. Completely missed the point of it. And all we could see was a cheesy, fake-looking 70s shit film. So I wrote it off. We laughed. We laughed at the puking bit. We laughed at all sorts of shit because it was just preposterous to us at the time. But then they re-released it for the 25th anniversary, and we were showing it at the Odeon when we worked there. You remember?
I remember we worked there. Yeah. I worked there with Lummy.
I don't know if you remember when The Exorcist came out. So it was in Cinema 1 for I think about a week or so, and then it moved straight to Cinema 5 because nobody really wanted to watch it. And one night when it was quite quiet, I decided to just go in and sit down and watch it. And I watched it and I saw it for the first time. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I got what they were trying to do. And I know people will argue the point. The point of the film, to me, isn't that it's not scary because it looks cheesy. It's not scary because it's not good. It's amazing if you take into account that the lead character is not a religious person, yet like most of us, I don't know, most of us aren't religious, I don't believe, but she's not a religious person, but yet her daughter clearly has the devil inside her. So it just has this extra aspect to it. When you actually watch it again, I felt stupid. It was beautiful. It was properly scary when the psychology of it comes into play, and completely changed my mind so much. It's now like one of my top 3 films. It's a great film. But yeah, that was a shocker. Because I thought I knew it. I was like, yeah, let's give this a go. It'll be a laugh. And when I found it terrifying for the right reasons, you know what I mean?
What about you, Lummy?
Right, so one thing, I saw Exorcist like you said, Nathan. I think I saw it late on, and I a bit too old to be scared by it, really. But I'll tell you what I don't like in films at all. It's not really a horror thing, but I hate it when people get injected on films. I can't stand it.
Okay.
And in The Exorcist, the little girl is in the doctor's.
Yeah,
she gets injected, and I freaked out because I'm like, train spotting where there's the close-ups of the injections going in and all that business. I can't deal with that. I don't know why.
It's not a normal injection, that is it? It's like a spine lumbar injection they give her.
Yeah. Well, like
terrifying.
Yeah, horrible. But I'll tell you, a scary film for me. When I first saw it when I was younger, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, definitely.
Yeah.
That was so weird and like.
How old were you when you watched it, though?
I don't know, but young. But I'll tell you what, I was really young. I don't know how old, but I used to share a room with my eldest brother, and he once watched a film called Lair of the White Worm, a British film with Hugh Grant in it, and what's the Scottish what's his bloody name? Who was Doctor Who?
Oh, Capaldi.
Yeah, Capaldi's in it.
Yeah.
And it's got a really like horrible images and stuff, and this giant snake thing at the end, and all this stuff. And I saw that when I was he watched it one night thinking I was asleep, and I woke up. I remember watching it, and I was absolutely terrified.
Have you ever seen it? I'm looking for it now because I can't remember the name of it. There was a film when I was a kid. It was a ghost story with a little kid in it. It's got Lucas Haas in it. I don't know if you remember him. A guy died a couple of years ago. I'm just trying to find it now. It's when he was a kid.
You have a look for that.
Not the Omen.
No, not the Omen.
No.
Basically, he gets locked in school overnight in the cloakroom by the bullies. They lock him in the school, and nobody knows he's there. And while he's there, he sees a fucking ghost, and it's just a terrifying premise for any kid to see. I saw it when I was quite young. I'll see if I can scroll through.
So
you carry on.
I grew up watching. I was the youngest in the family, so I've got a brother who is 6 years older than me and a sister who's 9 years older than me. So they were already watching films that, a 5-year-old kid probably shouldn't. Well, to be honest, my brother at 11 probably shouldn't be watching them either. But I remember watching the Zombie Flesh Eaters and the Blob. The originals when I was about 6, and they didn't bother me at all. But then years later, the things that bothered me was, do you remember Ghostwatch UK?
Yeah.
Ghostwatch UK absolutely freaked the shit out of me. Those of you who don't know, Ghostwatch UK was actually the thing that inspired the Blair Witch Project, apparently, according to the makers of it. So I have no reason to disbelieve them. But it was a BBC thing one Halloween where they were looking at some houses that might have some ghost stories. And while they were looking at one of the houses, just things started turning to shit. And there was a ghost called Mr. Pipes, and the cats would all start away. And it was absolutely terrifying. And because they'd made it look as though it was really happening there and then live, and they had people phoning in and all sorts of stuff. I very much took that to bed with me, and it was terrifying. I was about 14 at the time.
Guys, I've found it, and it's a corker. If you haven't seen it, you gotta go give it a go, especially Ulami, because it's the kid from. So the kid that is the one who sees the ghost is the kid from Witness.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and Amazing Stories. He was in the Twilight Zone movie. It's called Lady in White. It's from 1988, and he plays a kid. He's a son of an Italian family in town, and like I say, it's done with a Wonder Years author narration. So it doesn't feel like a scary movie, but when he actually gets haunted, it's pretty terrifying. But yeah, it's really cool film.
The other thing that terrified me was an episode of Blackadder. I can't remember which series, but I think Blackadder ends up cutting a king's head off, and the king's head keeps haunting him. And in my bedroom at the time, it had a window above the door of my bedroom door, and I just kept imagining this bloodied head just peering at me through this window above my bedroom door, and it just used to shit my pants. It was terrible.
It's turned a bit scary. All right, what about this? What about when you were a kid in the 80s? And you're right, by the way, like when it was the 80s, when I was a kid, I saw Aliens, I saw Alien, I saw Terminator, I saw Lethal Weapon, I saw everything before 1990 that was Rocky Horror Picture Show, all sorts of stuff. My dad didn't really, he was like, just totally free about it. There was some control. They just got through the net, these movies. You just ended up watching them. But what was a movie when you were a kid, say 8, 9, 10, that you thought was sexy, but it isn't? Because mine was Rocky Horror Show. And it was one bit, right? It's quite obscure, this bit, where they jump into the in the swimming pool at the end, and they're all dressed in drag. At one point, it's a pause moment. You got to pause it, right? At one point, you can see somebody's boob under the water, like it's a wardrobe malfunction. You could see a boob, and as a kid, I was like, oh, boob. What was your sexy moment? There must have been one.
There's a moment in one of the Psychos where I think Psycho 2 where she checks into the hotel and she goes into the bathroom and it's all a bit weird and she sits down on the toilet and she suddenly is like oh, and she jumps up and you're sat at home going fuck, somebody stabbed her with a knife up through the toilet and she just hasn't put the toilet seat down. It's just a nice little jump scare comedy moment there in a horror film. I enjoyed that. I
just realised we've got Beebs on camera.
Do it.
Fantastic.
Here we go.
More the merrier. Hey, Beebs, how are you? Merry Christmas.
Hi, everyone. Merry Christmas. Sorry, I'm like,
hello.
Right now.
Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
All the better for seeing you, my friend. All the better for seeing you. So, did you get any nice Christmas presents this year?
I did. Yeah.
Anything that you're willing to share with us?
I'm a hairstylist, so my husband bought me a really fancy curling iron.
Nice.
And then I bought myself a pair of new lips. So
fantastic.
Yeah. What about you guys? What did Santa bring you?
Nathan and I think we both got Ready Player 2.
Yeah, the new books. Yeah, it was.
Right. Okay. Maybe you guys, because we opened this up at the start of the show, but there are a few more people now. My girlfriend bought me a Stranger Things mug. She didn't open the packaging that it came in. She ordered just a plain Stranger Things mug, but it came as this. It's a Stranger Things mug, but it's the 11 Stranger Things mug. Now, so I've got no problems with it as such. But is it weird a 42-year-old man having a mug with a tween character's name on it? Or is that totally fine?
No, I think it's fabulous. I mean, it's nostalgia.
Okay.
I mean, we all need mugs. They like carry hot things for us that are
yeah.
You know what? That's a beautiful way of looking. You're right. I've overthought this.
The only person who's got a problem with it, Rich, is you. That's it.
Stop bringing it up. Just send it back if you hate it.
I don't hate it, honey. If you're watching this, I don't hate it. I really love it. Thank you.
He's trying to get material out of something that's got no material. Basically, that's it's like me going, "What do I do with this old can now? I've finished the beverage. Oh, what vote now,
dude? I tell you what, just take it out of the box, smash it against that wall behind you. Then she'll get the message. It's a lovely mug. There's nothing wrong with the mug.
I think it's probably going to be worth a lot of money in a couple of years.
Well, after featuring on this show, absolutely, you're right.
It's a collector's item.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
So can I just check something, Beebs? Do you know Roberto?
I do. That's literally the reason why I'm here.
Right. Okay. Because we thought we didn't realise you were a real person. We thought one of his friends scamming us, but yeah, it turns out.
Wait, are one of you not Roberto? I don't know. No, I'm dead serious. I thought that one of you was Roberto. That's
no.
Right. Which one?
Somebody.
Pick one. There's 4 of us. Who do you think it was?
I choose you, Pikachu. I have no idea. Since I'm here, what did we talk about?
This is his stream.
Movies or what?
This is Roberto's stream, but there's nothing there. Look, can you see the window?
All Chris really wants to talk about is Roberto. He's been trying to get him in the show and the time. It's been quite distracting, to be honest. Movies. Have you seen any good ones?
In a group chat that we're all in, and he's like, "Yeah, you guys come," so I assumed he would be here.
Oh, you've just got to deal with us. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. Did he flash then?
It flashed up then.
Keep flashing him.
He's such a tease. He's a right tease.
No, it's fine. I mean, I like attention any way I can get it, so it's okay.
So what was the other chat you were in?
Yeah, what's the movie you were
Jimmy Kimmel. What?
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 So you've been on the Jimmy Kimmel show, Beebs?
No, I live in LA, so when you walk down Hollywood Boulevard, they have people that's where the Jimmy Kimmel show is.
Okay.
And they just have people standing out there asking you weird questions, and they just happen to catch me walking by one day, and then I end up on the show.
Nice. Are you in LA right now then?
Yeah, I live in North Hollywood.
No. My ex-girlfriend lives in North Hollywood, actually.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. Do you know her?
Stylist?
No. She's a dancer.
She was trying to move. That was the furthest she could move.
Looking for work these days.
Oh well, I'll find Roberto on Facebook. I'll hook you guys up.
Perfect.
That sounds good. So Nathan, what did you ask about the film?
I thought Beebs mentioned that they wanted some movie chat. Have you seen anything good over the holiday season, Beebs?
Oh yeah, actually, I'm literally not now because I'm on the thing right now. But I was watching Wonder Woman for the second time. I loved it. The new movie.
Our first guest tonight, Pot Not Broth. It was halfway through. Well, I say halfway, 2/3 of the way through watching that film. Was 2 hours into watching 1984, and then came to join us.
I've heard good things about it as well. It's getting really good write-ups.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I heard that a lot of people didn't like it, and I don't understand why. I thought it was a really good message. I don't want to spoil it for someone who hasn't seen it. But I thought it was really good. I mean, especially for a sequel. I will say that Kristen Wiig as the cheetah was phenomenal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I heard she worked hard. She's put a lot of work, a lot of fight training.
We're all used to seeing her in Bridesmaids and these comedies. But it was good to see her depth and range. I'll say.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. I love the first film, so I'm really looking forward to seeing the second one.
Me too. I mean, as a hairstylist, I just love the fact that there's a superhero who can crash through buildings, and her blowout with her hair is so packed. Really good.
Yeah. So, from a hairstylist point of view, what shows or movies are completely on point? What are you looking for? What do you look forward to watching to see, what's cool and what's not?
Well, it's really funny because knowing what I know about the industry, it's crazy because I'm watching a show or a movie and I can always spot okay, that's a wig, and then it gets distracting. But I don't know. I just like movies. I don't know what we're talking about.
Okay, as a stylist, do you have to fit wigs on people frequently?
Yeah. Not now because there's so much going on with COVID.
Of course, but in the old normal,
before. Lots of wigs, lots of extensions.
So
a lot of male actors and stuff like that wear wigs and a lot of makeup, which is funny because it doesn't look like it. You wouldn't think that, but the men are kind of the most diva-ish clients, to be honest.
Really interesting. I work in theatre a lot, and I can probably actually attest to that. And having a wig put on is one of the worst things that I ever have to do in my job.
It does sound absolutely. It sounds
really
painful. It sounds really bad.
Honestly, you try it. Okay. So
imagine going to work down a coal mine and then listening.
Okay, that's fine.
In a wig.
That's absolutely fine, right? But
I'm only kidding,
talk us through put like styling a wig on someone. So you have to put this head stocking on first of all, right?
Yeah, usually, unless they're bald.
Unless they're bald, and then but you have to clip that head stocking in, and this is the bit that I find the most painful. When you're
it's tugging on your real hair, so that's not always the best. But yeah, basically you just kind of wrap the hair so it's really flat, and then you put the cap on, adjust the wig. I always like to have the client help me by using their fingers like this, so they can like hold the wig in place.
Yeah.
But all you have to do is secure it. The one thing I don't like are the lace front wigs because those are more complicated and take more time.
Where you have to glue them down a little bit as well. And
the glue and the hair dryer and the whole bit. It's a lot.
Yeah. So you have to have these. So they put these hair clips in, but it scratches right up your head, and you must have about 15 or 20 of these things in. So if you're doing 2 shows a day, twice a day, you're just basically having your head just clawed around. It feels horrible. I absolutely detest it.
Do you know they're doing some miracles with wigs in films and movies now, though, because you see people that you know for a fact are like naturally receding, like for instance, like Jude
Lummy. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
It's natural. But anyway, like you see them in one movie, or you see them on TV, and there's nothing there at all. But the wig, like when the wig's invisible, there's nothing worse than being able to spot that the wig's bad. But I think it adds an element that it's because the person that's wearing it doesn't know it's bad sometimes. And that makes it worse. You know, like your 70s chat show hosts. That sort of 70s
very obvious.
Yeah.
Actually, there is a Conservative MP who nobody called Michael Fabricant. Lummy, can you just Google Michael Fabricant and get a Google image up? See if we can show a picture of him. Is it possible? I'd like Beebs' professional opinion.
On what?
I'll have a go. Hang on.
If you get Michael Fabricant. Fabricant. So basically, this is a Conservative politician, Beebs, and there's actually a clip of them in the House of Parliament where it looks like a wig, right? And there's a clip of some of his.
I just have to really get something.
Not a problem. And there's this clip of some of the other Tory MPs sat behind him in Parliament, and you can clearly see them like pointing at him, going, "It's definitely a wig," like that. And you can lip read them pointing and saying that this is a wig. Have you managed to find one, Chris?
Yeah, I've got several. How do I do this? Hang on, let me do this properly. I'll get one.
So Chris is just looking for an image at the moment, Beebs, of this politician, and we would like your professional opinion once he gets it up, so whether this is a wig or whether this is his real hair. I mean, his opinions are ridiculous, so it stands to reason that his hair would be as well. And Rob, how are you doing over there? You haven't fallen asleep in the corner?
No, not yet. I'm enjoying myself.
So what work have you got going on at the moment? Because, I mean, you've done a lot of acting work with Lummy and a lot of writing work and things like that.
Oh, so are you guys actors? Like you said you work in the theater. Are you guys actors?
I'm an actor. Chris, top left in the Santa hat, is an impressionist. What do you do now, Rob?
These days, I'm actually just working in IT. I work for a web hosting company. Senior administrator on that. So, yeah, basically trying to keep people's websites running. I'm still waiting for Lummy to get his backside in gear and get another film on the move. It's been far too long. There was talk of another Bushman film a couple of years ago. Whatever happened?
Yeah, we're gonna try. I mean, we had some worked out, but obviously since March, you just can't do anything, could we? So
yeah, I mean, this year's stop on any plan like that. But
so I want to get stuff going again, and we'll get something going. But yeah, it's just a matter of time. But I'm writing load of ideas down and stuff, and so I'll get stuff prepped, and then once we can get back to it, we'll do something. Yeah.
Go on, show us.
I've got your picture for you.
Go on then, show Beebs.
There we go.
Is that a wig or not?
That's a wig.
Do you think that's a wig? Oh, thank you so much.
Natural at all. Poor baby.
Oh, there we go. So his colleagues and his fellow party members. Right.
The problem is, Beebs, is that this guy is just staunchly devoted to the fact that his hair's real. He's always asking people to touch it and stuff, isn't he? He's always saying, "You can pull it if you like. It's real. It's real." But
he sounds like somebody I've heard of who is currently the president of the U.S.
So how is the work situation for you at the moment? Like filming, is there anything currently in production at the moment, or has COVID completely ravaged the industry? Because we know that America is obviously we've suffered pretty much the worst in Europe, but America's really suffering at the moment with COVID. Has it sort of put the kibosh on the industry completely, or is there anything that is in production at the moment?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that like the studios resumed production in August or maybe September.
Mm-hmm.
So they are filming stuff. I'm sure everyone has seen the video of Tom Cruise, screaming at people on set for not, maintaining distance.
Was that in the US or was that over here? Because I thought that was over here that happened.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that was over here.
Yeah, it was over here.
What do we think
Clearly,
about that?
I do know that like Fox and Warner Brothers have resumed filming stuff. America's Got Talent and other shows like that are using like the Universal lot, which is right down the street. Right. So people are adjusting to the new normal. As far as like my industry, it's okay. It's not like it was before. I guess like I would tell you I had maybe 5 or 6 clients in one day, whereas now I have like 5 or 6 in a week. So,
Yeah. No, it's certainly hit us all quite hard.
Got a bit solemn there.
It did get a bit solemn. Sorry, I thought
you were asking about Tom Cruise.
Yes. So what do you guys think about Tom Cruise? Do you think he was? I know I've got my opinions as somebody who works in the industry who currently, it's similar to Beebs, has a much more limited kind of career at the moment in the new normal. So I actually personally really appreciated his outburst. But what about you guys? What did you think about it? Because I've got an opinion of Tom Cruise. I'm not a fan of his, the whole Scientology thing and stuff like that. It does skew my opinion on him a little bit. But what about you guys?
I thought it was a bit much, the delivery. But I get the sentiment. Like, yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be safe. Like, stop fucking around. But he was a bit like the I heard someone say it. He was like the harsh dad or something like that.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, he was
everybody loses
as
the cool as well.
as actors tend to be. He was a bit dramatic for my taste. But I agree with him.
No, absolutely. Because it got a lot of press over here, but it was quite split press. What about you, Rob? What did you think about it?
Well, I haven't seen the video, but yeah, I mean, the sentiment there, it's everybody else around you. You've got to put safety first if it's along that line. Okay. Again, actors have a tendency for a flair for the dramatic. But yeah, the point he's making, whether you like the guy or not, if it's what it seems to be, then it would be a valid point. I would agree with him. I haven't actually seen the video, so I don't know exactly what he said. So.
Absolutely. What about you, Lummy?
Yeah, I think fair play to him. I mean, the thing is with him as well, he's the producer of those films. Well, Mission Impossible, how much money's at stake there? If that production gets shut down, all those jobs lost. So you kind of think fair enough.
Well, it's not just that; it's the insurance companies that are sort of backing those films and covering those films. So if production falls apart, then other films aren't going to get insured. Other productions aren't going to get insured as a result of it. So. I think he felt the pressure as, I can't believe I'm sticking up for Tom Cruise.
And then, on top of that, he's got to jump off a mountain on a motorbike. You know what I mean? It's like, how bad your day going? Stand 6 feet apart, and now I'm going to do this stunt. Jesus.
Chris, he doesn't have to. He insists on it every movie. They've been trying to make him stop for like 30 years. Please, Tom, you're worth so much. Please don't threaten to kill yourself. He's like, no, I'm doing it. But you've never.
I mean, if you compare it to Christian Bale's rant about the lights that time,
pales in comparison, isn't it?
It pales in comparison. Yes, absolutely. What's your favorite Christmas movie, Beebs? We've been asking everybody when they've been coming on. What's your go-to Christmas film?
Batman Returns.
Oh, Batman Returns.
Nice.
And that is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Catwoman's transformation, forget about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Lummy, we were talking the other day about Happy. It was the recommendation that Nathan brought to the table, and you and I both ran with it. I don't know if you've seen it.
How are you guys getting on with it?
Or Rob, I don't know if you've seen Happy on Netflix. It's, am I right in thinking it's a what's the Scottish guy called? Grant Morrison comic.
Yeah.
Happy. Is that the one with that guy from Law and Order?
I can't remember the
Chris
actor's
Maloney.
name. Yeah, Chris Maloney. Yeah.
And he's absolutely brilliant in it.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah. How far have you got with it, Lummy?
I've finished first season. Yeah, watched it.
Yeah. Same here. Finished first season 2 days ago and put on the first episode of the second one. And wow, I don't know if you've started that, Lummy.
No, yeah, no. I want to do it all in one because I know I won't be able to stop watching it. So,
I've been slowly re-watching it as well, and
blast it on. It's worth a watch. So if you've not seen it, definitely. So
fantastic, yeah.
It is the perfect sort of alternative Christmas TV series.
Yeah,
Rob,
I've got to put this.
I think you'll dig it.
I've got to put this image up. This has been flying around yet again. Let me show you this.
Piers Morgan and the homeless lady too.
Yeah,
she made me. She made a little tear came to my eye watching that yesterday. Just that moment. Right, there's two characters in Home Alone 2 that I really love. It's the toy shop owner. He just puts in a performance where you're like, such a lovely, lovely human being. And that lady as well. And that moment when he gives her the two turtle doves, and there's just that pause, and she's like, "Oh, Kevin," and it's just, it's great.
There was on Saturday Night Live at the weekend. There was a Kristen Wiig did a sketch with it in Pigeon Lady.
Okay.
And
what, the original Pigeon Lady or?
No, Kristen Wiig played her. It's really funny. Have a look at it on YouTube. It's good. I won't spoil it, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
There was a bit that actually occurred to me that I have never realised in Home Alone 2 was that Kevin gets the sticky bandits to chase him to the park. He phones the police and he's like, "Yeah, the guy's broken into the toy store. They're in Central Park. Look out for the fireworks." Right? So all the pigeons have got the guys pinned down on the floor. He sets off a load of fireworks right near them. The police come along and they arrive, and these guys are still under a ton weight of pigeons. And one of the policemen, he just fires his gun once and all the pigeons fly off. And I'm like, how the fuck didn't you do that with the fireworks? They
were busy eating the seed at that point, weren't they? She'd thrown on them.
There you go. Where were you yesterday when it
stuck to all the chemicals and glues and stuff that they got?
Oh, Beebs has disappeared.
Oh, we've lost Beebs.
No, I'm here. I'm just texting somebody.
Oh, right. There you go.
I'm here. I'm just texting.
Thought we had another Roberto incident. It's fine.
So how long have you known Roberto for, Beebs?
Just for the chat.
So actually, you know what? This is actually a really great audience for this moment.
Go on.
Since you guys are...
Please take off a mask and reveal yourself to be Roberto. That would be amazing.
No, sorry to disappoint you.
Oh.
So you guys are like movie buffs. I have a really crazy theory that everyone thinks I'm like insane for, but if I could just share it with you and get your opinion.
Please do.
Okay, so you've all seen the movie Titanic, right?
Yes.
Yep. All right. So everyone says that Rose's fiance in the movie is the villain. I actually strongly believe that Rose is the villain of this movie.
She's selfish.
Biggest sociopath in the world, and she's not happy until literally everyone around her is uncomfortable. What do you guys think?
That's a really strong take, actually, because... my girlfriend yesterday was saying that she thought Rose was really selfish and actually not at all a likable character.
Not at all.
And that Jack was a victim in the film.
Jack was a victim of this crazy rich girl. And then she was just bored. Like, she tries to kill herself for no reason because she's bored, I guess. And then the poor guy gets blamed for sexual assault. He almost basically died or went to prison because of her ass and her antics. And then, not to mention, she stays messy until her old age. Like, they brought her onto that ship. Asked, like, "Hey, you know, do you know where maybe this diamond was, you know, buried or something like that? We're looking for it. And she goes on this whole tangent talking about a story that happened 80 fucking years ago. And then at the end of the movie, she drops the diamond into the ocean. She had it on her the entire time, and she was just fooling with these people. Like, what kind of sociopath does that? Very bizarre.
Yeah, I agree with you. A little bit of trivia. My great uncle was the captain of the Titanic.
Really?
Yeah, it's nothing to brag about, but it does break the ice. No, it is true. No, that is a true story, though. I found out. No. I found out when I was a kid. He's on my dad's side of the family.
Did he live?
No, no, he's very much dead.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
Yeah, I know. I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted about it. But no, yeah, Captain Titanic. Chris and I both worked at the Odeon Cinema when the Titanic came out. And normally you'd have a film in a cinema, you have like 4 showings a day. But because the Titanic was so long, in order to have 3 showings a day, we had to come to work like an hour and a half early and finish half an hour later than everybody else. And that film stayed at that cinema for about 14 weeks. God, I hate that film.
The worst thing was, as well, at the cinema at the time, we had to stay in and watch the showing.
Yeah.
You know, so you had one person on each screen. They had to stay in and watch what were going on in the
Every
screen. So
time.
we've seen those movies so many times. It's like,
like the Full Monty. I mean, that film was at number 1 for like 16 weeks or something, wasn't it?
Independence Day. I've seen that movie 37 times.
I had to watch The Phantom Menace quite a few times.
The Chronicles of Narnia. I used to work at the theater when they were playing that one, and that one.
Which film? Which film?
The Chronicles of Narnia, the Prince Caspian one.
Yeah.
I used to work at the El Capitan Theater, and they make a big deal of all their movies and stuff, you know. And it was just a lot.
Do you know, occasionally it did have its benefits because I got to see The Big Lebowski like quite a few times while I was at work. There was always the odd like little independent film that you didn't think was, you know, didn't know anything about that would show up. It was the first time I saw Little Voice with Jane Horrocks.
Yeah, it's a great film.
For me, Billy Elliot. You know Billy Elliot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That film, I saw the first showing of that with the director in the screen.
Oh, really?
It was shoved it in screen 5. He just wanted to check the print of it. And it was called Dancer. It came on the screen, Dancer. It wasn't called Billy Elliot. They changed the title.
Really?
And but I really, brilliant. I said to him after, I went, that was amazing.
I saw the premiere of The Sixth Sense at the Odeon on the internet on the film festival, and the audience in Odeon 1 was absolutely packed out. It was 1,000 people in there, wasn't it? That cinema screen.
Yeah, sounds.
I literally saw 1,000 people all jump at the same time and all come to the same conclusion at the end of the film.
I love that.
Yeah, really cool, and also really good when there was a brilliant comedy on, because it was just fun to watch everybody laughing at the same time. You know, I remember that with Something About Mary when that came out. Yeah, the audience was just in stitches. Yeah, it was really cool.
I remember Dumb and Dumber as well. The big laugh in that. Do you know when he throws a snowball point blank in a face? Everybody used to howl at it. Everybody used to howl at that bit. And we watched it so many times. I used to laugh before it happened, knowing the audience were going to go crazy. It was weird. So, yeah.
What's the best film you've ever seen at the cinema that you would rather watch at the cinema again than watch on TV?
The Green Mile.
Easy.
Green Mile.
Green Mile,
yeah. Fantastic film.
Great film.
Yeah, good shout. I enjoyed that one. Again, worked at the cinema when it came out. Yeah, saw that one quite a few times.
Brilliant. What about you, Rob?
I think for me, the one that the biggest difference there, the original Alien film. Seeing that.
Also good. Yeah. Also a good choice.
What time of day is it there, Beebs?
It's 3:15 in the afternoon.
Okay, so we're at 11:15 at night now. So what are your restrictions over there, like lockdown-wise? Are you allowed to go out and do your thing, or are you all locked in, or do you have to wear masks?
We have to wear masks everywhere. Mm-hmm. There is no outdoor dining in LA County. There's a curfew for businesses, so they can't be open after like 11 p.m. or 10 p.m.
Okay.
But shopping is still open. That's all the same. We just can't really go eat anywhere.
Okay, it's like us about a month ago, really, isn't it? That's kind of where we were with the whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm quite curious about the.
like salons and stuff are closed, but luckily I do house calls. I'm actually about to run out to an appointment right now, so I'm gonna go. But
Beebs, thank you so much for
meeting
coming
you
and
guys.
taking part of the show. It's been lovely having you as our guest. Very, very Merry Christmas to you.
Merry
We hope
Christmas.
the rest of 2020 is better than the earlier part of 2020, and we hope your 2021 is better than everything.
Likewise, guys. Mwah, have a great weekend.
See you later.
Thank you very much. Thanks
so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Really lovely meeting you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was lovely. Thanks so much, Beebs. Thanks, Roberto, for getting your friends along to come and join us. That was wonderful. And I think we are getting towards the tail end of the show. Is there anything, gents, that you want to talk about before we finish up?
I don't know. It's been good fun. I can do a few movie trivia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's do a little bit of
Yes, movie trivia.
Do you want? Well, it's movie. It's here we go. Question for everybody. I don't know how you're going to answer. Just go for it. Which delivery company? Which? Do you want us to ask you individually?
No, ask it, and we can just
confer.
Hang on, somebody else is coming into the chat now. Have we done the what?
Is it Daniel or Martin?
Somebody called Jay. We need a camera on Jay if you're coming in to say hello.
Just a quick from Pop Not Broth. Finished Wonder Woman 84, and it is great. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching that. Thank you very much for the recommendation.
Here's a question then, Lum. I haven't had a good quiz in yet.
You want a question?
Are these really hard?
Jay's. I'm waiting to see if Jay's coming up camera. There's some camera activity, but not enough to bring him into the chat. We'll see what happens. What delivery company did Tom Hanks' character work for in Castaway?
FedEx.
FedEx, Rob. Well done. First one in.
I said
1
that
point
well.
to you.
Was it a competition now?
Rob said it first. Rob said it first.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to jump in if you know the answer.
Got like a 2-second delay here, so
I don't know what the answer on that. You won't know. I don't. In what 1963 movie was the most expensive ever made up to that point?
Ben-Hur on it, or Cleopatra. One or the other.
Oh, Cleopatra. Well done, Wedmund.
Well done.
It was Ben-Hur, then Ben-Hur was the longest for the longest time, and then Cleopatra was the most expensive.
All right,
yeah.
trivia man.
All right. What do you want me to get everything wrong?
No, I just want the answer. You got it right. You don't need an explanation.
You don't have to give me a prize, hello.
You're not Stephen Fry. I'm QI.
Come on.
Right. Eye of the Tiger was the theme song for which movie?
Rocky.
Oh, no.
Huh? Rocky 3.
Yes.
Oh.
Trick question.
Trick question. You got to be ahead of the game. In 1975, movie Tommy is based on which rock band songs?
The Who.
The Who, yeah. Yeah.
You might cut out in the middle of that question. I'm not even kidding. That's all right. Go on.
No, it didn't.
No, your internet did.
My internet is dipping in and out a bit. But
which movie was the song "Take My Breath Away" written for?
Top Gun.
Yeah, of course it was. These are facts or fibs. You ready for this? Shere Khan from the Jungle Book is a snake. Fact or fib?
Fib.
Yeah, fib. Easy, isn't it? Steve Martin, fact or fib? Steve Martin prepared for his role in Cheaper by the Dozen by moving in with a family of 12 a month.
I'll go fact. What the hell?
Fib. I'm going to go back to trivia. Hang on. Let me get some more.
Hang on, I just saw that comment that popped up, Lummy, and that's the first time I've ever been described as wholesome in my entire life. So
Yeah, that's nice.
that's quite nice.
That's private chat. I can't bring the comment up. Sorry.
Right. No. Apparently, Beebs just messaged Roberto to say that we were nice guys and as wholesome as fuck. Thanks.
Oh,
that's
nice.
That's lovely.
Okay. Do you want more trivia?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, go on.
I think Roberto's trying to get his friend Jay on as well, so we could get Jay on for the last couple of minutes.
We need a camera off Jay. There were no camera. Which band plays at Lillian's wedding in Bridesmaids?
What
It's not.
Wilson Pickett. Wilson.
Oh no.
Wilson. I can't remember.
You're right with the Wilson. It's not the one on the car door.
Oh, I can't remember the name. I can't. Wilson's just some Wilson.
It's the make of electrics.
Wilson Phillips.
Russell
Yeah.
Hobbs.
That's it. Wilson Phillips. Yeah.
Let's have a look. What song played during the opening credits of Clueless?
Oh, no, life could be sweet.
No,
If I could take no.
Dream.
That's in there though.
No. It's not at the start. Anybody?
Can't remember.
I mean, if you give me time to Google it, then
No Googles. It was Kids in America. We were looking for Kids in America. Which actor was known as the Duke?
John Wayne.
Yes, straight away. Well done. Name the computer from 2001.
Hal.
oh,
Hal, Rob first there. Who was Carrie Fisher's mother?
Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah, Debbie Reynolds. Steve Rogers is the other identity of which superhero?
Captain America.
Captain America.
Captain America. In which country was actor Hugh Jackman born?
Australia.
Australia. Which two Welsh stars played leading roles in The Mask of Zorro?
Catherine Zeta-Jones and Anthony Hopkins.
Yep.
Oh, on
You were
fire
all
here,
right.
guys.
You were all right. Well done.
Unstoppable.
I met Hugh Jackman, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, for a job. I didn't get it, but it was one of the guys from Pappy's House Share. Do you know Pappy's?
Yeah.
It was. I had to play his best friend in a commercial. So basically, not really his best friend. He was just jogging along, and I'd be cycling after him, basically being the most annoying man in the world and just being his best friend and telling people not to get too close to him and stuff like that. And we basically got a week before filming, and then one of the guys from Pappy's ended up getting the job.
Ah.
I was like, damn it. But I got to meet him in the fourth recall for it. And he's a really nice guy. Really, really lovely guy. He was filming Les Mis at the time because my agent was in that with him. And yeah, just really decent man. Decent human being. There you are. Just a little.
Cool.
Right.
A little brag. A little humble brag. A little humble brag. A humble brag, gentlemen.
It's good that.
He sucked Hugh Jackman's dick off.
No, not all the way off. Not all the way off. It was just dangling a little bit. No, not all the way off. Not all the way off. It just dangled a little bit. That was all.
Do you know what's worse is I know my missus. I know she fancies Hugh Jackman, like quite a lot of people do, and I want to hate him for it, but I just can't hate him. He just seems like the nicest guy, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you dick.
Not him.
All right, shag my wife. It's fine. I give up.
Even if he came back home and he was there, he'd go, "Oh, give up! Oh, go on."
Yeah, I would. I say, sing us one of them Les Miserables songs, dude. It was so good.
What a beautiful morning! They'd be singing that.
Yeah, he was in that, wasn't he? He was a big
that.
champion for Oklahoma, wasn't he? He absolutely loves that musical.
Only reason I know that again is because it were on the other night with him in it. They did top 100 musicals or something.
Oh, by the way, Rob, I did see a little bit earlier on Gittins trying to sell Fallout 76. You've got the same exact suspicions about it that I did. I was like, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be the same. I don't need a multiplayer world.
It wasn't. That's the thing. When it first came out, it really
play the game storyline through without interacting much with people.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and it's totally fine. But also, there is a point where it isn't what you think. People can't just come up and shoot you. You know, really, there's not much PvP in it. It's a.
In fact, they've almost entirely taken the PvP out of it.
If you're a fan, there are certain elements of the story and the setting that you'll really like.
Yeah,
but some crazy, annoying things. Now would be a great time to play it because they're just about to sort some of the craziness out.
Yeah.
Maybe if you guys are playing, maybe join up with you guys at some point. So
absolutely.
Pop Not Brox has come back with this. Bethesda.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I'm not honestly. If you've ever played a Bethesda game, you know what we're talking about. It's not.
They're always far from perfect, but there's still worlds that you can get lost in for hours, days, weeks, months.
Absolutely.
They have found a way of keeping it addictive, even though it's not.
Hey, Rob.
Where are we? Have I got one? Yeah.
What have you got? Oh, look
Everybody's
at
cutting
that.
out. Is that me?
It's you, Nathan.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
I ain't got
That's cute.
got
Since we're sat in here, and I don't know if I'm going to.
I've got a bit of
I don't know if I'm going to
a
be
bit
in
of
this
that.
room again.
we're going to be. I think we're going to be finishing up fairly soonish because we're at the 3-hour mark nearly, and
2:54. I mean, you know, you want it to finish.
well, I mean, it's nearly 12. It's 11:30 at night. What's that?
Oh, cool. You can't bring your Tantive 4 out at this time of night.
That's my favourite one.
That's nice.
I always say that. It's cool, yeah. It's not even a UCS one, it's just a good one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nice
Did you
pajama
pick that
bottoms,
up by the
baby.
radar?
Thanks, man. They're new. The comfiest damn bottoms.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're awesome. Really nice.
You
I've
can't
got
beat
two
a nice
pairs.
pair of pajama bottoms.
No, man. I'm sure you're all jealous. See, this is the advantage of starting a bit later. I was able to, sit in my pajamas.
Yeah.
I should have had a wee, though. I do need a wee.
I put aftershave on for the show tonight. I don't even know why I did that. I was just getting ready.
I think you smell beautiful. You smell good.
I had a shower and I was just like, what the fuck was that for? It just mean the dog sat here.
It's nice to feel. It's nice to feel pretty rich. Don't you apologise?
It is. It was for me, not for you guys.
Yeah, it was.
Nah. Well, I'm glad I joined in, even though I'm absolutely shattered and now it's still there.
Yeah. Well, in which case, I think we should probably. Has anyone got anything that they would like to share or say?
Yes, I would. We should pimp next week's. It's all Geek to me.
Mm-hmm.
Featuring all new features, all new news.
Yes, so that's the point. So now The Mandalorian has finished, what we're going to start doing is we are going to be looking at some old films that we love. Some geek films. We're going to be revisiting some of the Star Wars films, Indiana Jones, Ghostbusters, and if there's any films that you would like us to revisit and review with a fresh pair of eyes, then feel free to let us know. Leave a comment down below. Feel free to subscribe to the It's All Geek to Me YouTube channel and It's All Geek over at Twitter It's All Geek Twit, and we're also on Facebook. So feel free to leave a comment and let us know if there are any films or series that you would like us to revisit and review on the show. Chris, is there anything that you?
Oh, hang on a second. I was going to say that's just the segment of the show. The usual bits of the show will still be there, but because we need something to replace Mandalorian. We're going to start with, I think we agreed this week, we're going to jump in there, the stuff we're not looking forward to too much, and we're going to go Star Wars. For the prequel, we're going to start chronologically. So whatever order they come out in chronologically, we'll be watching them through. Bad or good, we're going to watch them with a fresh pair of eyes, take new notes, notice new things, make new jokes, complain about some stuff with the first three, I'm sure. And we're going to do that for the entire run of Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will be back next week on the 2nd of January, usual places. Chris, is there anything that you would like to plug or recommend or say before we leave?
Just a quick one. I'm still doing my radio show on a Tuesday night, and I'm always looking for requests. So if anybody wants to request, it's on Box Office Radio. And I play movie scores, some rare stuff a bit different for people. So all you have to do, if you can message us on the Geek page, I guess, and just say your favorite movies, and I'll play a track from them. But I always need requests for it, so that'd be cool if anybody can do that. It's on Tuesday nights at 8:00, Box Office Radio.
Rob, do you have a request for Lummy? Is there a song that you want him to play on Tuesday night? Anything you can think of from a film?
Oh, straight off the top of my head, it's got to be Johnny Be Good. Then go on, Back to the Future.
All right, I'll pull that on for you. Tuesday night.
Can you play City Slickers too?
Of course I can. Go. I put you one on other night. You probably didn't listen, Nath. I put you a request.
I can't stream it. It didn't work for me. I tried the first show. I recommended it because you sounded desperate for recommendations. So I gave you a recommendation.
I always sound desperate.
I know.
For everything. I sound desperate now. What am I desperate about?
I don't know.
Needing the toilet?
Yeah.
It's
3 hours.
Rob, thank you so much for joining us this week. Is there anything that you've got to plug or anything that you want to recommend to people or anything you want to say before we go?
I don't have anything to plug because I don't do anything. But what can I say? Thank you guys for having me on here. It's actually been really cool to come and hang out.
It's nice to see you, dude.
I've been enjoying watching the show. It's been great to be a part of it.
Oh man, It's been a pleasure having you on as a guest. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, it's been awesome to catch up. So I look forward to the next episode. I will get myself caught up with some stuff because I haven't seen Mandalorian and all that.
Nice.
Happy. So I've got some good recommendations from this.
Man.
I can recommend if you like D&D, get on with Critical Role. It's a great series.
Definitely. Yeah, I've got that. And we will be having other guests on the show. We're going to be having some people. We're going to hopefully have Joe Sims from Broadchurch joining us in a few weeks. And we're also going to be having James Unsworth, who is a fight director who's just finished working with Michael Bay.
Plug in, man. Running out.
And he's a professional wrestler, just finished working with Michael Bay. So we're going to have some guests on. But also, I think this has been a nice feature having.
Can I make some guests up? Can I make some future? I'm going to make some future guests up. So we're probably not going to be having James Cameron. He's definitely not coming on. James Corden, definitely no. James Franco.
James Corden,
Is James Franco still a maybe, Lummy?
Ours is about the only show that James Corden hasn't done.
Never will.
Right. I've just moved.
I'd like Conan O'Brien to come on. Can we get Conan O'Brien on? I bet he'd be great.
I think they're going to remake the show in the future, and James Corden's going to play all four of us.
Yeah.
But, ladies and gents, that is all for this week's episode of It's All Geek to Me. This has been episode 3. And one more time, please visit us at It's All Geek over on their Twitter. Come to our YouTube page, It's All Geek to Me, and leave a subscribe and a like and a comment and all those things. This video will be edited and posted up there
in Greek.
Exactly. And Pop Not Broth, thank you so much for being a guest. Thank you to all of our guests today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you all. Very, very Merry Christmas, ladies and gents. We'll be back next week in all the usual places. Rob, thank you so much for helping us out and joining us today. And Webby, you made it. We're really happy. You weren't going to be here. Oh, look at him.
Can we just do a quick shout out to this message we got? It's from our old friend Betty Bum Bum Bum.
So,
hey guys, anyone real men want to chat?
So anyone want to visit our spin-off show on Betty Bum 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 over on Twitch? Feel free to go for it. But for us, very, Merry Christmas. We think It's All Geek to Me, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.